Boys and girls, we are back. We are back. The boys are back. Welcome to a November episode. I know you feel like we've been slacking a little bit, and potentially we have a little no shave November, no pod November, but we're stopping that today, okay? Because you're listening to the number one outdoors podcast in the world. This is Past the Barb, and joining me tonight, not only an amazing guest, but a co-host, Adam Bart Bartuszczyk.
I am back. I missed the last one. I was out of town, and yeah, like Sobi said, we have been very busy lately, as a lot of outdoorsmen know. Kind of that beginning of November time frame. You got deer rifle opener, bow hunting is like getting nuts around Halloween and everything. You got kind of ice season kicking off. I was at the end of a tirade of weddings and various different travel plans. So it was just kind of a mess. And then it also didn't help. I mean, we'll talk about it, Sobi, but Sobi had a rough time getting a deer on the ground for a long time.
Yeah.
But then it ended great.
Yeah,
So
it ended good.
yeah, we'll end up talking about it. But that was like when we would have done our last pod, Sobi was in crisis mode still. So like,
I was like, boys, like, I don't know if we can make it. And I'm like, I can't make it. I can't make anything. Not even text my mom back.
it was. I knew Sobi's hunting was going poorly because like we used to give Sobi a lot of shit like 5 years ago or so because he was like the worst communicator and texter in the world. That stance has now been overtaken by Ryan Pinkala, like firmly, very firmly. But Sobi, yeah, Sobi used to be that guy, but progressively over all the years, he's gotten much better, and like he'll get back to you within 12 to 24 hours, or you know what, you could actually have a conversation or get an answer from him. But like slowly as the days went by in hunting season, he started reverting back to like complete disappearance and not replying to anything. And I was like, oh fuck, dude, he still hasn't shot. Like I knew you hadn't shot one just because you were not communicating at all.
Just not active on social media, not communicating. Nobody knows what's going on. I'm like, oh, he just he just sucks at hunting still.
Yeah, like ice products are launching across the country. All this stuff's getting posted. Sobi's just ghost mode. Like he could have been in freaking Cancun, Mexico, for all we know. Nobody had any idea. But no, he was sitting in a tree.
True. It's disgustingly true. But like, I was going to bring this up, Adam, just because we just kind of started the podcast out by saying like, oh, we've been super busy, and I'm trying to wrap my head around, is there truly like busy times or slow times if you're like us from the Midwest and enjoy multiple seasons and stuff that goes on in different seasons, or is it just always feel like there's a different kind of busy or new kind of busy? Because like, you know, you were super busy in the summer, you got Champions Tour and all this, then you're like, oh, I got my wedding. Then from the wedding, you're like, oh, I got all these other weddings, and then we got our mini moon, and then want to sneak in some fall fishing, and then oh shoot, we got winter. Like, do you ever feel that way where you're like, now I just feel like it's just always busy? Something.
Yeah, I do feel like there is slivers, but like there is time, I guess. I mean, like March and April, I think are like really big kind of chill times
Yeah.
for us. Like, yes, we're getting excited and getting ready to go rip open water videos, but it takes a long time for ice to there's a very big gap of time where there is ice and nobody wants to watch ice videos.
True.
Where I feel like we've gotten good about being like, okay, maybe I'll grab a video or two for next year, but like I'm gonna chill out. Like I need to I
Yeah.
need some R&R. So I would say then, I would also say, I think typically September is fairly chill as well.
Yeah.
So there is there's little brief windows, but this year they kind of got overtaken by weddings and stuff. So no, there hasn't really been a break.
That's what I think is catching me off guard. I'm like, usually isn't September at least a little bit of a breather? And then there was all the weddings and everything, and you actually had your wedding, so you're like, no breather.
Yeah, I was the first Friday of October, but like that last 2 weeks of September obviously was pretty wild, and then finishing up tournament season and everything this year. But yeah, I mean, we're like today will kind of be, we're going to do a little bit of hunting talk. Our last handful of episodes have been hunting, but we're kind of going to be flipping the page these next couple episodes into ice season.
Yeah. And like,
because yeah, it's coming. I don't know if you looked at the forecast, Obi, but it's coming hot.
it's
Like
coming.
it's coming in hot. Like next week, Friday, ice, and there will be a lot that will be very frozen very quickly.
Next week, Friday. What's the date next week, Friday?
That would be Black Friday.
That's
So that
Black
would be
Friday.
November 28th.
Dang,
Which
dude.
I mean, that's pretty standard. So
It's just, it always seems like it'll get cold and then it'll warm back up and you'll be like, oh, are we going to get ice nice and early? And then always, dude, right at Thanksgiving, like at Thanksgiving, it's just, it happens.
yeah, and sometimes it's like, oh, it's kind of cold enough, but like this forecast looks like it's like highs in the 20s, lows in the teens
Nice.
or single digit. So it's like it's going to freeze.
Nice.
And it's going to freeze hard. So yeah, we're kind of flipping the page, heading into that. Got good guest today, great guest today, one of our best friends today.
Yeah.
So this will be a really fun episode. But like Sobi said in the intro, you're listening to the #1 outdoor podcast in the world. If you have not, please subscribe to us on Spotify. There is a lot, like a lot of you that listen to us on Spotify, but for some reason like searching us every 2 weeks, and we would really appreciate if you just hit that follow button. It helps us out tremendously.
Yeah,
So
we
please
do
do that,
it.
and rate and subscribe, whether you're on Apple, YouTube, you name it. It all makes a big difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but we kind of got into it. Sobi, we'll get into your hunting stories in a sec. After we'll kind of go back and forth on a little bit of what we've been doing. But what have you? So current event wise, not the bow hunting or not the hunting stories, I should say. What have you been up to? What's been going on at the Sobiek household?
Basically, in between hunting and processing deer, I have been full-fledged switching over my life to ice fishing and not doing anything much cooler than that, like filming, editing, hunting, and then just grabbing stuff down from my rafters and going through that. I went through my permanent fish house and like pulled different stuff out of there and getting stuff charged and seeing what works. And just like I am full-fledged game planning for hell to freeze over. So that's like basically the short and the long of nothing like super crazy. I know what you've been doing is much more cool. So I want to talk about your current events where you just were.
You're getting ready for ice season. I got to get ready for ice season. Also, maybe we can tease this a little bit. You and I haven't even we've kind of talked about this, but we'll see if maybe the listeners are interested. Now that collabs are a thing on YouTube, should you and I like go do something early ice together before the Chronicles kicks off and everything?
I say
Like
yes.
old school days?
I say
Because
yes.
like I'm gonna be jonesing for an early ice trip before St. Paul. Because like I'm gonna be not out of videos. Like I'm gonna have some videos. We got more Montana stuff coming out, but we haven't gone on an ice trip together since probably, well, other than like clam photo shoots, probably what, TYO days.
Yeah, probably. We shared some hook sets last year on the ice, but not like on like a mini trip, We were
I
just
don't
like,
know if should we do we let the cat out of the bag that you may have happened to see something really cool at? I don't think we talked about it. It's put the videos posted.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we don't
Yeah,
have to
like
go into that.
well, yeah. Well, you did happen to we ran into you on the ice somewhere where we caught a very, very big one.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Just random by chance. But no, we haven't like actually fished together
In a
in
while,
a
like
long
through
time.
the like we need to. So it's going to be, and especially like for the cool thing with early ice is, and especially if you just go scratch the itch before St. Paul, is like you kind of just go with the flow of whatever's frozen. You're not like hitting exactly these specific lakes or these specific timings or going for these specific fish. You're actually just low key excited to just like catch a fish through the ice. So if you can find a lake that like, oh, there's 3.5 inches out here, like game on. And then you're like, all right, we can fish here. And then you just, maybe it's bluegills, maybe it's crappies, maybe it's perch, maybe you set up a tip up for a pike, or maybe we rip to red and we bang a limit of walleyes. Like, it's just like, you just kind of go with whatever's frozen. So I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be really fun. So maybe we'll have to, you'll go kind of do some of your stuff and everything, but maybe we'll run into each other for a little bit of time. I'm still trying to, now that I'm actually back, I'll talk about where I'm back from in a sec. But now that I'm actually back and like done with 5 or 6 different travels in the last 6 weeks, I can actually focus on like, and there's a forecast out. I can be like, okay, I want to start making plans now because like I see the weather, I see everything
Yeah.
happening, and I'm like, okay, I can put pins down. But um, okay, I just got back from, and if I sound kind of shitty, I'm sorry. I did get sick on this trip, but I'm muscling through for all you PTB fans.
Actual illness, or you think like a food poisoning?
No, like an actual illness. I 100% had an actual illness. I'm on like day 3 right now. I'm kind of on the mend a little bit, but I was out in Oregon. So basically, for the past, I mean, the start of this month till now, uh, finished up going to weddings, went to Pangrak's wedding down in Fort Worth. I don't think I've been on after that, but that was super cool. Had a ball, saw a lot of bass fishing guys. Got to see Matt Steffen wear starched jeans. That was pretty interesting. He
Nice.
told he told me about having to get starched jeans in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. That was a very interesting story. I'll have to have him on sometime to talk about it. But if people don't know what starched jeans are, it's a Southern thing, and I don't personally think it makes any sense in the world, but to people like Matt Pangrak and Southern people, it makes all the sense in the world.
Aren't they like super super stiff and
Yes.
uncomfortable after that?
Yeah, they're basically like plank. Like you can stand them up. Like you can literally stand them up and they'll just sit there.
What's like the origin of why that is such a thing? Is that just so pants won't get super worn out back in the day when they only had a couple pairs?
Dude, I have no idea. I asked Stefan about this. I kind of asked Pangrak about it. I don't think there's actually a definitive answer other than Stefan said, and this is what I would agree with after being at the wedding, is it's kind of like a I tried harder than you type of thing. Like,
Uh,
like it's like as a working man or whatever, it's like, you do the extra step or you go the extra mile. And
yeah.
it's like, I think it's something like that. I'm sure there's an actual reason, but I don't understand what that reason would be, especially because the starch comes out after like an hour or two, and then they're kind of just normal jeans. Um, so I don't necessarily get it.
Interesting. Is that really how fast they kind of get
Yeah, I mean,
malleable
by
again?
like 2 or 3 hours at the wedding, his jeans looked normal. Like they were fine.
Interesting.
But yeah, like he said like to get him on, you got to like punch him out. Like you can't stick your leg in them. Like they won't come apart. You got to like actually punch a hole through them, basically, like down the leg hole. He said it was wild. Um, it felt equivalent to imagine wearing the most staticky pair of pants you have ever worn in your life, and that's basically it.
I'm glad Stefan went all out, and it looks like I saw some
He could
pictures.
not bend over to put his boots on.
No way.
That's how it's yeah.
Dude was starched. Dude was straight potato starched.
Yeah.
I
No,
saw on Instagram, it looks like you had kind of a southern get up too.
yeah, I mean, I made sure. Well, like Pangrat got, he got all dressed up for our wedding, and they did, what was it, classic country or something like that. They wanted basically country Texas wedding.
Yeah.
So I had like a nice pair of jeans. I didn't get them starched, but I had a nice pair of jeans. Uh, sport coat, dress shirt, and then I went with and then got boots, which I've worn boots a bunch before,
Yeah.
but it was actually a great excuse to go get a new pair of like very nice boots. So I have
Yeah.
some very nice boots now that I'm hyped to wear. And then I wore a bolo tie. Alyssa hated it. She still hates it. Because everybody comments on it and they're like, the bolo tie looks sick, and she just rolls her eyes every time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna bust it out at some point in time and coming up. I don't know when. Pangrak wants me to wear it one day to the St. Paul Ice Show.
You should just whenever you're honestly, you should just carry it in your truck or just carry it while you're traveling. Just whenever you're feeling it, just bust out the bolo
Bolo
tie.
tie. Yeah. But yeah, so we both dressed up. It was cool. Everybody looked great, and very interesting wedding just because like the people there, it's like us, Matt Steffen, Miles Berghoff, and then like Mark Jeffries was there, Frank Scalish was there,
Zaldane.
Zaldanes were there, like Dave Rush, a bunch. I mean, a bunch of people very influenced in the bass fishing world. So it was pretty cool. It was super interesting. And super cool being down in Fort Worth. Because I never went to the classics. So
Yeah.
I'd never been to Fort Worth before. Sick place. Went to Billy Bob's. I've been to Billy Bob's now.
You went to Billy Bob's. What'd you think?
That place is unbelievable. I did like you guys explained how big it is, and I'm like, holy shit, it is big.
We didn't overplay it, did we? It's that big, right?
No, it is that big. So when you were there for Classic Week, was there ever a concert going on, or was it just bar?
Concert, dude. There was a concert, and there was like thousands of people in that pit.
Okay, because like we were there. Alyssa and I flew in a day early. We flew in on Friday, but we flew in the morning because there's so many flights to DFW. It's so easy. But we decided to fly in the morning because we wanted one day to like go to the stockyards and explore and everything before going to the wedding. And we were like hopping around doing whatever. And then it was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock. And we were like, all right, we'll go to the infamous Billy Bob's for like a drink or two. And then we're going to Uber back to we had a hotel downtown. We were staying at the same hotel as Gretchen and Katie from St. Jude. And we walked over there, and we get there, and there's a line to get in. And you can only go in that one side door, which is very weird. It feels like you're walking in, and then it was also around Halloween. So there's Halloween decorations everywhere. And it felt like we were walking into a haunted house. And
Weird.
Alyssa was like, I don't want to go into a haunted house. I'm like, I think this is the only way we can get in. And then it was like admission or pit or VIP, and you could buy whichever stuff. And it was a cover for the night. So it was $20 to get in. So we got in. We ended up at a Josh Malloy concert, I believe it is. I'm not huge on new country guys, but he has a song that is played everywhere right now. But yeah, we walked in, and the concert was just kicking off. So it was kind of cool because like we had no agenda to be there. We had no friends we were meeting up with.
Yeah.
So we kind of just got to walk around and people watch.
That's so
And
fun.
that is a place to do that at.
Yes. Dude, aren't they all like dressed up? Like the people that probably weren't in Halloween costumes, aren't they like just so dressed up to the nines in Texas?
Yes. Well, and then they have that middle dance floor that is just people swinging line dancing.
Yeah.
And they're very much there, like not with a date or whatever. Like they go there to dance.
Yeah.
With each other people. Like that's their activity on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And it was cool. And then also there's got to be 50 pool tables in that place.
Dude, it's unbelievable. Just did you see where they do the bull riding?
Yeah. Yep. The bull riding. Yep. We saw that.
Like, what did Alyssa think of this? Was she just like, holy smokes, dude, this is we're complex.
She understood also then why, like I had talked about us going to a classic and going to the Fort Worth one. Cause I'm like, I think this is the one to go to. And she kind of understood that then. But the coolest part was, we're walking around and observing, and a bunch of people were paying attention to the concert that night. So like there was also people at the pool tables and everything. But we went to those side rows or whatever the entrance is where all the handprints are. And we spent like literally 20 or 30 minutes just looking at all the different handprints of people who had played there and the dates and all this stuff. Dude, that is crazy.
Right, dude? Like Johnny Cash. Who else was there? It was
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, yeah.
I mean, Eric Church, you name it. Everybody. And what was super cool too, because we started looking up like the dates. It seems like it almost perfectly lines up with right before they exploded. Like it's like Bill, you know what I mean? It's like your next step is you play at Billy Bob's and then you are huge. Like Ella Langley was there earlier. Megan Maroney was there early. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just this stepping stone, which I feel like First Ave still kind of is that in Minneapolis on a much different scale, right? It's
for
not
sure,
country or anything. But yeah, dude, that place is nuts.
I'm so jealous that you guys just got to go there, kind of just you two, and be flies on the wall with like no agenda. Cause like that's what like same deal. Steph and I like took so much time and we're walking around that, but then you run into other people, or you're also meeting a group that are meeting Teal and them or whatever. People are trying to get in. Like you guys just got to be and be like, let's just take this all in.
Yeah, and it is a hell of a place to just take in. Like that nuts. Like, dude, if we could have a bar like that anywhere around Minnesota, not even like, and obviously I don't want it to be a honky tonk or like a country bar or whatever, but like something
Something
like
like
that
that.
where once a week there's a concert and like people are going there to just throw down and like
Yeah.
it's just cool. And like the other thing is like this is Southern hospitality type stuff. There's like no security guards.
No. No. For that many people, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And it's just you just go in and they're like, yeah, they'll take care of each other.
Yeah. Like,
It's
dude,
so interesting, dude.
if those
And it's
walls could talk, though,
awesome.
they'd probably the stories they go. Yeah.
Dude, it was so cool. But anyway, so yeah, we went to that wedding. It was super awesome. Pumped for Matt and Courtney. Um, yeah, had a ball there. But then came back home, released the first 2 videos from Montana. So we got our ice season rolling. Got more of them coming, which I'm super excited to get out. And then my family and I, which is what I was getting to, is we went out to Oregon. Have you ever been? Sobi, you have traveled the world. Have you been to the Pacific Northwest before?
No, never Oregon. Never.
Really? You haven't been to Oregon or
No.
Washington or Idaho, anything like that?
No. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
No.
is very crazy. So we went out there for people that don't know, my family's like diehard Gopher fans. Some of my first memories as a child are going to Gopher football games. Um, and obviously Oregon joined the Big Ten like I think it was 2 years ago now. And I kind of jokingly at the time said to my dad, I was like, well, whenever they're going out to Autzen, which is their stadium, I was like, we gotta go. Like I have to go to a football game there. And then it was on the schedule this year, so we were like, and it is not good timing with when my wedding was and
Yeah.
everybody else's weddings, but you have no idea when they're gonna go back out. So I was like, yeah, we're going.
That's so sweet.
So my whole family went. It was awesome. Really cool experience. So we all flew into well, me and my parents flew into Portland, and then we met my brother and his wife there. Then we drove to Eugene, where my sister and my brother had already flown into. And then my cousin Hannah works for the University of Oregon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's in there. I don't know if it's admissions or she has a certain director role there, basically in the university with health services. I don't know, something like that. A very important role. She
Yeah.
does a lot of great work. But we got there, so then we got to do like a tour of everything, and so that stadium. Do you know why Oregon is so like famous? Their stadium now.
I feel like I do, but I'd rather you explain to me, like full fledged.
Nike was started at Oregon.
Yeah.
Literally by a student. And
Dang, I didn't know that. I knew like their
I
headquarters
think it
was
was
like right there.
coach. Yeah, coach. So the track and field, it was as a track and field company because they ended up becoming like that's where all the world or US trials now for track and field is at or like that track and field facility
Really?
at the University of Oregon. Yeah, like you see it, dude, and it looks like an Olympic stadium. But yeah, it got started there basically. I read a bunch of the banners and stuff that are there. So sorry, people, if I butcher certain parts of this, but it is very well publicized. You can Google it everywhere. But basically, Phil Knight and then someone I can't remember the other guy's name, but Phil Knight's the owner of Nike. They started it as a shoe brand for track athletes, developing it. They would do like x-rays of people's feet to figure out where they needed to put like little tacks or whatever in track shoes to figure out different grips and how to get people to go faster and just
Really?
all the stuff, man. Like there is so much cool stuff there. Also, like one of the guys who is starting it too, he didn't end up starting Gatorade or anything like that, but they have like samples of this juice that they would have them drink for electrolytes and everything, and they joked around like it was called something piss or something like that.
Oh
And
my
it basically it was like the first type of sports drinks. And this is in like the 50s and 60s too, by the way. This is not that long ago.
That's crazy.
So we ended up going there. Well, and up until 20 or 30 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, Oregon was not a huge like football school or really anything like that. They won track stuff all the time because then obviously Nike started taking off and going. And now, like I said, it's pretty well publicized. But Phil Knight has donated like over $3 billion to that university
Oh my
with
gosh.
a B, not an M, a B.
Like it's beyond tricked out, dude. Like that.
Dude, like I joke, like it's the house that Nike built. It
It is.
is the house that Nike built, and it is fucking insane, dude.
God, it'd be sweet to go there as an athlete. Like, probably like if you're anywhere in the vicinity or you just have been there and you're an athlete, you're probably like, I want to go to school here and play sports for them.
And like my brother Ben and I were talking, and we were like, forever growing up as a Minnesota sports fan or whatever, because Minnesota actually has quite a fair amount of football players, especially basketball players, but football players, stuff like that end up being 4 or 5-star athletes that end up going to other schools. And a lot of times they don't end up staying home. PJ Fleck's been doing a good job of keeping some guys home, but a lot of them leave. And you're always like, man, stay home, help your university, make the University of Minnesota stronger. And we're on the Oregon campus because Oregon takes so many athletes.
Yeah.
And we were on their campus for an hour, and I'm like, "Fuck Minnesota, dude!" I literally
I'll go here tomorrow.
You're like, how can you compete? Like, dude, the facilities are insane, and that's just like we're just seeing what the public sees. We weren't even seeing the locker rooms or the other stuff.
Can you imagine what they do have behind the scenes? Like just the different weight rooms and lifting facilities and dry land areas and probably swimming therapy areas and saunas. And it's probably incredible.
Oh yeah, dude. And then it's like, yeah, it's crazy the stuff they have there. But then like Hannah showed us around the whole campus, which is obviously super cool. You get to see all the stuff that's going on there. Very interesting too, hearing about like just some of the modern issues that like admissions people for new college students have to deal with.
Ooh.
Of like just with technology boom.
Yeah.
Of like kids aren't taught certain skills like growing up. Like as weird as it sounds, God, I'm trying to remember some of the ones she said so that I'm not misquoting it. But it's almost certain things like it might not be this exactly. I just want to stress that, but it's on this type of level of like doing laundry or getting groceries. One for example is like going to a doctor's appointment. Just because like there's so many things online or like going to set up, you know what I mean? Like it's these kind of basic tasks, but like because of how far technology is advanced, people don't really have to do them anymore until you get to a college and you have to interact with people. So like it's certain things like that. So we went around, learned all about that, saw their different facilities, like I said, are incredible. Went to the bookstore, saw everything, and then going to the stadium. What's super cool about Oregon was so from like their main campus to Autzen, the stadium, they call it the walk through the woods. It's like a mile walk, and you walk from the campus down this walking trail, and then you go over this river, this like beautiful trout stream river.
Wow.
And then you go through this little bit of woods, and all of a sudden you walk out and it's the stadium.
Wow.
And it is that. And then what's very cool is they have the tailgate lots. But unlike any sporting event I've ever been to, they have the gate isn't like to walk into the stadium. Like, when you get to like TCF or Target Center or whatever, right? Like there's a door, you're inside.
Yeah.
Here, there's a door but it's outside, and you get in, and it's a complex. So there's the stadium, there's the practice facility, there's their sporting hall of fame, all contained within this giant border.
Oh,
So you walk in, and like we went over to get some beer and stuff, and they have food trucks around all around the stadium and on the outside. And like I said, this is in the complex, I'll call it. That's the best way to explain the way this is. And we go to the practice facility, like it giant indoor 100-yard field, every like warehouse,
so
gigantic
sick.
Nike swooshes. You could, if you ain't seen a Nike swoosh, you've seen all the Nike swooshes you want to see in your life by the time you go through this university. But we go in there, and they have tables set up everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
And there's just people hanging out, drinking beer, getting food, doing whatever. Cheerleaders going around, Puddles, the duck running around, like their mascot. It's great. Like it is actually crazy.
And
And that's just one of the buildings.
encompassed by that outdoor gate, like around the whole premises.
Yes, around that outdoor gate. So then you're like, oh, I want to go see all the people who are famous who played football and stuff here. Here's our sporting hall of fame. And it's like so smart, right? Because you're like, oh, having a few beers, you bring some recruits here. Oh, by the way, right by the stadium, when you turn into one of our best people ever, people get to see you all the time because our sporting hall of fame is right here, not hidden in a building somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah. So then we went in, and we walked around the whole stadium. It is super sick. Autzen is very widely known as the loudest stadium in the United States of America. I was pretty high up so to be honest, I was pretty high up in the seats. I had row 69, but my family, because we had to get 2 different groups of tickets to go because there was like 10 of us and you max out on 8.
Yeah.
So some of us were up at row 69, and then my family was down at row 41. And I thought it was pretty loud where I was, but I was still like, I feel like I maybe heard louder at some other games. And then my parents were like, 25 rows down, and they were like, absolutely not. You have not heard louder. They're like, and that's what they always say is the closer you get to the field, just the way it's built and the acoustics bounce,
Really?
it is crazy. It gets really loud.
I want to do a deep dive now on kind of just that whole facility and stuff. Like that makes me want to go watch a documentary on it. Like, because I'm sure that it's out there.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, with the production and everything they have there, like, oh yeah, it is. If I can find this, I'll try to do this quick. I took a video that will play here. I posted it on my Facebook today, but if you're a sporting event fan, you would appreciate this. Okay, let me see if I can share my screen here and see if this will work. We're still not the best at this, but we'll try. Okay, share tab audio. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna go this back to the beginning. All right, you're gonna be able to hear
Turn
this.
turn the volume on.
But this is for people who love that love sporting events and sporting atmospheres like I do. This is crazy. Place is nuts, dude. Like there's
Dude, that kind of gave me some goosebumps, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like that gives me
yeah, dude, it gets like I have so many videos and stuff, but it's crazy. Like I understand now when people get in a road game in a big place at night like that, how intimidating it is.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's not your home crowd. That's not your home field. You've never you were just there visiting and you're like blown away. Imagine if you're like, yo, you're 21 years old. You need to go out there and perform now.
Yeah,
or
good
19.
Luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. So it was super cool. And the other part I would say that made it just phenomenal trip was I have never been. I've been to a lot of away games around the country, watching the Gophers or other sports, whatever. Um, I have never been in a away environment with fans and people that are nicer than the
Really?
University of Oregon. Like they say Minnesota nice. No, dude, it's Oregon nice. It's
Really?
crazy. Yeah, so nice. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, we're so happy you came. Let us know if you need anything, if you have questions. Everything's super clean. Like hospitality A plus, incredible people." And like you do a little bit of smack talk, but you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get dusted, and they're like, yeah, probably, but we hope you enjoy it. Let us know where you want to go. Like they're not assholes about it, Whereas
Yeah.
you could like legitimately be a big time asshole. So it's very cool, very very
Dang.
cool.
What was the
I
score of the game?
Oh fuck, I don't know. We got blown out. It was like I don't know, 42-13, 48-13, something like
Very
that.
good.
I don't know. It was over when we first had the ball. We ran two trick plays to start the game. We basically just waved the white flag and said we don't deserve to be here, and tried to trick him immediately out of the game.
We're gonna trick you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. It was
Dude,
fucked.
what did your dad and brothers think of this? That's what I've been dying to know. Like, what did your dad and brothers think of this? They're huge
Exactly
sports fans.
yeah, exactly what I thought. Like
Just
bucket list.
yeah.
For sure go. Like Pangrak called me earlier today because he saw I made the social media post of it. And he was like, so is it that legit? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
He was like, I've always wanted to go there. It's like, yeah, everybody, if you have a reason, you should go to a game at Autzen and go to Oregon because it is crazy.
Dang.
And it is also wild seeing a campus that Nike has donated $3 billion to.
Like I just watch them on TV and highlights. I'm always just like, oh man, dude, those jerseys are sick, or those jerseys are like, because obviously they're always stunting new jerseys, they're always stunting new gear, like they're always stunting new shoe, like. But I never really stepped back and thought, I bet the whole facility is just like you said, the house that Nike built.
Yeah. Like, oh, cool, they get new jerseys. Like, what about that whole fucking building over
Yeah, yeah.
there?
They're like, we didn't spend $2 billion on that, kid.
Yeah.
We have
We
facilities here.
yeah, we didn't spend $2 billion on sneakers and jerseys.
Holy balls, dude. Holy balls. That's cool. That is really cool.
It was
Dang.
very cool. But yeah, so we went to the game, did all that. Next day we toured Eugene. Eugene's an awesome city, by the way. So I would like to say for the record, so all the shit I've talked about Portland on this show,
Yeah.
I still stand by that. I do not like the city of Portland. I think it's very disgusting, and I don't understand why people go there very often. Um, Eugene is fantastic, beautiful, awesome, awesome city. Then we went to the coast of Oregon's beautiful. Um, it does rain a ton this time of year there, just kind of always misty.
In the fall. Interesting.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. It's so green. There's so many woods.
What's the landscape like? Is it semi-flat?
Woods and mountains.
Mountains.
Well, there's basically two mountains. You got like the mountains. So eastern, you got high desert, right? And then
Yeah.
it's mountains. Then you got Mount Hood. I think it's Mount Hood. There's two big mountains that are snow capped. And then all woods kind of around there. And then it goes to this valley where Eugene and Portland and stuff like that are. And then
Yeah.
you go towards the coast, there's more mountains, and then it's literally the Pacific Ocean. But a lot of woods. I think like 45% of Oregon is woods, literally.
Dang.
I think that's a stat. And they're like gigantic pine trees. Huge.
There's so like, how far was your flight?
3 hours.
That's like not bad. There's just like, I don't know. Sometimes, you get so full focused on doing one thing, like an ice fishing or killing a deer or doing this. And even though like I have full access to the internet and the social medias and stuff, like there's places like in Oregon that my brain will forget about is even a place on planet Earth for years.
Well, and dude, for
Like you
example,
don't think it's not even. I never think about Oregon or even that whole area. I don't know why.
yeah, and like I gotta go fishing there for like a week or two sometime just to experience it because it's world renowned fishing.
Dang,
Um,
for what?
trout, salmon.
Yeah.
But like one of their track coaches, like it's literally in that Nike Hall of Fame I was talking about. Their track coach that's like renowned as one of the greatest track coaches ever. One of the reasons he was one of the first ones to stop there and turn the University of Oregon to what it is. The reason he stayed was he wanted to be at a university that had easy access to world-class fishing.
Ooh.
He was a big outdoorsman, which is pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Wow.
Um,
He's probably like, the steelhead fishing is so good here. I'll stay.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's steelhead or what it was. I think the state fish is a Chinook salmon, I believe.
Okay.
But I don't know exactly what it was. So, but yeah, Oregon's sick, man. Highly recommend for people to go there sometime. Explore. I would say, like I said, Portland apparently has some cool areas around it. I have not found them, but the areas around are incredible. Like Eugene is sick.
Dang, I'm writing it down, dude. It's on my bucket list. Like it's on my bucket list now. And just that part of the country in general. I'm going to start. And I like what you did with your parents. You like had a reason and you just did it. Because there's times like that, or I'd be like, oh, I'd like to go out and do that. Or maybe I'd like to do that. And then I just like let it slip by. Like you guys were like, oh, we got to do it. It's not exactly great timing. Screw it. Like, let's just do it.
Yeah, that's kind of like Alyssa and I. We travel a lot for fun or whatever, but I'm kind of always the person who pulls the trigger on things.
I like that.
I'm just like what? When are you going to do it? Like, if you just keep putting it off, you're never going to go do it, right? So it's like, I could have been like, oh, I'll wait to go to Eugene until the Gophers are maybe competitive with them. Like, that could never happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I'm going to go. Like, it's a Friday night in
so
Eugene. Like, I'm going to go see that game. And we got crushed. And I did not care at all. Like, there was like a probably 20-minute time frame where I was like, oh my God, this is going terribly. But then you're like, this place is insane. Why do I
you're
care?
like, I'm here for the adventure.
Yeah, exactly. So I just got back literally, I mean, not 24 hours ago, dude, I was in the air. Actually, I was just starting to fly out. I got back at 2 a.m. last night. So I've been battling sickness, kind of catching up on emails and stuff today. But
do you think you got sick at the game or just the airport? Or
I don't know. I actually, to be honest, I think it was my flight there. There was a lady like 2 rows behind me that was just hacking up a lung for like 3 hours. So I think that might have been it. Yeah, I've been sick for like 3 days now, but we're on the back end. But okay. Sobi, our guest is here, and I also don't know how long a time he has, so we don't want to keep him waiting too long.
He's backstage.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce him?
I'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. One of our best buddies, longtime best buddies. This friendship is well over a decade. This person's very special to Adam and myself, not only because we have good friendship with him, but he's been a mentor and a dot connector, a brother, a supporter. He is a badass, full-fledged outdoorsman, whether it's in the field, on the water, on the ice. He's an industry professional, and he's worked in a lot of different facets of the industry.
And he's also a listener of PTB.
Yeah. He's a part of the nation, and he's a freaking rock solid dude, rock solid husband, rock solid dad. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he's got a Latina last name, but the skin fairer than the snow that's about to come. Our buddy Brent Relopez.
Thanks for having me, fellas. I appreciate it. It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long time coming.
Yeah. I feel like we see each other every now and then, but we talk or text every other day. But in person, it's either ice fishing or a wedding in this year's instances or something random.
Or a batch party.
Yeah. Batch party doesn't hurt. Maybe hurts, but it doesn't hurt to see you fellas.
Hurt later. I like how festive you are. You might be the first one to have a Christmas tree up.
Dude, we're all talking about how we're behind and time gets away from us, and the dude's got his Christmas tree up. Shout out.
Dude, we watched The Grinch tonight with Rhett. We watched Mickey Mouse Christmas. We're getting them in the mood.
Yes.
because it is cold up here. It's
Yeah,
a
are you
little
guys?
chilly.
Do you guys have ice, or like almost, or not?
Some
really?
of the little stuff is capped, but for instance, like newly kidnapped Will today to go fishing because I
Yeah.
think he was going through walleye withdrawals, and they beat the living hell out of him on Bemidji, I'm guessing, and it's obviously wide open. That's one of the last ones to freeze up here. But I got back from North Dakota duck hunting for a week last week, and they froze up pretty good. But on our way home, it was like 55 and sunny and windy, so a lot of that the little shit kind of broke up. So
Yeah,
it'll be a bit yet. Looking at the extended forecast, I mean, the lows are mid 20s, high 20s, low 30s, but during the day it's sunny and 40,
Yeah.
45. So
yeah.
it'll
Like
be a bit yet, but them surface temps will come down. So when it does happen, it'll happen quick.
yeah. Well, we were looking at the extended forecast, and I was like, basically Black Friday that night when it's like 9 degrees up there, it's gonna grow like 4 inches of ice in the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
Well, you
'Cause it's
guys
gonna
have
be
both
so
been up
cold.
here a numerous amount of times early ice chasing anywhere from half an inch to safe 3-4 inches and whatnot. So you know how it goes. It happens real quick.
It does happen quick. And that's kind of like what I wanted to first touch on before we dive into everything. So when you were in college, you went to BSU
Yep.
and you moved to Bemidji, and then you stayed. And Bemidji is such a sweet, cool town. And I want, like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom really quick, but I want you to tell the folks how many years you've lived in Bemidji and some of the things you love about it the most. Obviously,
Yeah.
no town is perfect. I'm sure there's things you hate about it, but like there's a real magic. I mean, maybe you live there every day, but there's a magic essence around Bemidji, especially in the wintertime with all the different winter cultures.
For sure. For sure. I mean, I moved up here in 2012 to go to BSU. And obviously, like Sam said, haven't left. Whether you deer hunt, grouse hunt, turkey hunt, now there's those damn things are everywhere. Ice fish for whatever species you want to chase. You can be a musky head. You can, if you love the outdoors, it's a great place to be. And all in all, you know, the communities, it's got its ups and downs for sure, like Sobi said, but you know what doesn't these days. But yeah, we're raising a family here and not sure if we'll buy a new house here or move somewhere else, but that's kind of up in the air in the next couple of years here. So I
We'll
love it.
figure
I
that
mean,
out.
we've made so many good connections with buddies and friends, and when you look at the industry, there's so many guys that either were born in Bemidji or went to BSU or traveled up here all the time. It's a really cool historic fishing and just outdoors town in general.
Yeah, well, it definitely is. I think, I mean, you and I talked about this when you were up there, and we've talked about it forever, but I definitely would not have graduated if I would have went there because there's way too many tempting facts. Like it's just
Oh yeah,
way too easy to go do other stuff. Like
well,
you just
it's got to be one of the highest dropout rates out there because
like
it's
you go
usually
up.
if you come here or you transfer if you hate it. But
Yeah, well, like the my favorite thing is like they sell you on, right, in the dorms and everything. They're like,
yeah,
"Oh, you like to fish? You'll love it here." It's like you're basically signing them up for like you're gonna get their money for 2 years and then they're out.
yeah. I mean, me and Sam Moore were roommates in the dorms our first year, and we were on the Call Outdoors floor, if that says anything, where we brought bags of decoys into the dorms and dead birds in the game cleaning rooms, and it was kind of a free for all. You know, we plucked ducks and cleaned honkers in the parking lot and cleaned fish in the designated game room. They had a locker down there for your shotguns. They had freezers you could put your stuff in for a couple nights. It was, yeah,
Do they
they definitely
still
sell you on the outdoors deal.
do they still have like the gun lockers and stuff there, even with everything that's been going on over the years,
I
or is that different now?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I haven't really asked
It'd be
any of
interesting.
the younger pups, but yeah, you could literally. I mean, you had to have them locked in your safe and whatever, and you went into this little check-in thing. It was almost like your mailbox. You know, you guys were in the dorms. You go get your mail
Yeah.
from your mom or your grandma or whatever, and you give them your name and a little pin number that you get, and you get to go in there and grab your guns out of the little lockers. And
I bet they still have an armory there. I bet they do.
probably it was built because you guys know.
Probably just like 10 times more secure than like show me your student ID.
Yeah,
You know, it's probably a little bit more tight than it was.
yeah. But
10
we had
years ago.
underground tunnels because obviously it's so damn cold up here in the winter. They didn't want you walking around getting frostbite on your fingies and your cheeks. So they built the tunnels, I think, a couple years before I was here, and then they did some maintenance while I was going there, and that was the deal. Heated tunnels when it's -30 outside, walking your 8 a.m. was pretty nice.
Where do you enter them? Is there just like different areas where you can enter and you go down?
Yeah, it started kind of like under one of our like common areas, which you could get to pretty quick. You still had to walk outside a little bit from the dorms that we were in,
Yeah.
but it was like 50 yards, maybe 100 yards. But if not, we would have had to walk uphill both ways into the wind, and
Probably
it would not have been fun. So
frostbite to the face.
yeah, we've been wearing ice fishing bibs and muffs and buffs and everything you could think of to get to class.
Okay, so but like you brought up at the beginning of this, and I think like something we're excited to talk about with all this is like you're a big reason for how Sobi, me, and a lot of other people in this outdoor industry even got started. And you said that so you and Sam Moore, you
Yep.
guys were freshman college roommates.
Yep.
Did you guys go to high school together?
We went to high school together. Played a little bit of hockey together. About every other random yard sport that you could think of: ping pong, pickleball, badminton in Rick and Sandy's backyard. And we rode our bikes to fish when we were in high school, and Rick would drop us off in the old walleye boat in the summer before work. And yeah, me and Sam spent a lot of time together. I can thank him a lot for a lot of the boys' success and my success as well. And obviously he's an industry badass when it comes to the media stuff and just a good person. So yeah, me and Sam were close for a long time, and obviously we still keep in touch and whatnot. It's fun to see kind of what he's built his life into. He was always so good with the media stuff. You know, he was one of the first people that I ever knew with a GoPro.
Yeah.
We used to film those little TYO videos in 9th, 10th, 11th grade with our other buddies, Jake Gray and Andrew Person, that we also went to high school with, that also went to BSU. They were a year older than us. But yeah, we started out with Sam's first little GoPro, and he had the creative mind, and we just put fishing knowledge and media knowledge together, and we were just having fun with it. We didn't know what the hell was going on. YouTube fishing was so new at that point.
Well, I think that was even
before YouTube fishing. I think I think that was even before YouTube even was really big. That's when you guys you made the Facebook page and almost started a community, which even starting a community back then was like not even a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't communities, there was like television shows, and then
there was like a couple forums, you know, like Lake Link and In Depth and stuff like that we would kind of try to dive into. And like I said, we were just having fun with it. We didn't know what the hell was going on. We just went fishing, and Sam was, like I said, so good with the editing side of things and the filming side of things, the electronic side of things. I mean, shit, I barely knew how to turn on my phone back then and take a picture on the old Motorola Razr. And then Sam's got his mom's MacBook and a desktop, and he's got iMovie and doing all this cool stuff. So I learned definitely a lot of stuff from him. And I can thank him a lot for a lot of the stuff that kind of
you're being humble too. You've always had a really creative side to you too. You're being humble. You've always had a creative side to you as far as filming and especially photography and
the editing
just
thing. Though, that was your two specialty, because you know how much I hated that, how meticulous it gets. Like I enjoyed the filming aspect of it, but the editing thing just kind of, I wasn't tech savvy enough to learn all the shortcuts and do everything well. So like once I graduated past iMovie and moved on to Final Cut or Premiere, I'm like, I can do it, but the fellas are a whole hell of a lot better at this than I am. So I'm very thankful for you two stepping in and doing that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Pardon me. Still sick. Getting through. So TYO, you guys started that what, 9th, 10th grade in high school?
Yeah, something like that.
And just doing like little bass videos, some ice fishing videos. Like we all met because of Facebook.
Yeah,
I believe. Well, actually, no.
Probably junior bass tournaments, maybe.
Technically, it was the junior bass state tournament on Gull Lake.
Yep, that was a good one.
That was it.
Yeah.
Sobi and I showed up in our little Lund. You were with Veach in the Legend.
Yep.
And Chappie won.
Yeah. Chappie, Sieben, Dave Satterback.
Yeah.
The
There was
list
like
goes
8
on
of
and
us.
on of Aaron Teal, Mark Shirley, like
Yeah.
all the fellas that were within 3-4 years of each other. That's how we all met for the most part.
That's so crazy.
I know.
But then we were friends on Facebook and then ended up going to college. So then when you get to college with TYO, you guys did some stuff for a year or two before Sobi and I got involved, right? Because that's when you guys were like heavy. We're just talking history here.
13 days.
Yeah, and I was going to say, obviously, you've done a ton of great stuff for Elliot now, and we'll talk about that too. But like, you guys are kind of like the guys who like kicked off 13.
I wouldn't say the guys. I mean, obviously, a lot of guys before us kind of laid the path. Reed Miller, Ricky Teschendorf, Jim Coble, like all those fellas. They were the mind piece behind all of the badassery of 13 fishing. We were just some lucky college kids. I happen to know Reed from working at Gander Mountain, and Sam knew Reed from working at Gander down in Maple Grove when we were in high school. And he laid the path, like I said, and we were just some lucky college kids to get, a bunch of free stuff to go film with. And it was damn cool thing to be a part of.
I do also think that's right around the time when like guys like you, Sam, and a bunch of other folks were starting to like do cool photography, and not just cool videos, but just cool pictures, and make ice fishing and make fishing cool in a younger realm, where like obviously you guys know where you guys went to high school and where we went to high school, like ice fishing or bass fishing or any of that really wasn't that cool, and nobody even like posted cool things on it. It was something that like people probably had pictures of at their house or on their phone, but they didn't even really show people. And then when you guys went to college and playing around with 13 Clam or whatever all companies you guys were playing around with, you guys were doing really, I don't know, you're really hardcore anglers in a spot in the ice belt that is really badass.
Yeah.
And you're fishing extra hard and doing cool media shit. Like, and that hadn't been really done that much before. So I always thought that was
especially
like
by young people.
By
there
young
were older
people,
like doing TV shows and stuff, but then all of a sudden it was like, who are these 2 to 4 20-year-olds catching big fish on new stuff that is cool and also being marketed appropriately? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of things going really good, and you're like, what the hell is going on?
Why were you guys doing that? Like, why?
Yeah, did you have any goal, or was it just like, I don't know, this is fun?
I mean, we saw the potential once, we started working with companies like Clam and 13, and we had, you guys remember Biddy Baits?
Yeah.
Used to make the
jigs. That's right.
The
swim jigs.
Yeah, the swim jigs with the blade, and now that's a big thing. So yeah, it's just funny how the stars kind of aligned, and we hit it at a pretty damn good time, which we didn't plan on. We didn't know it was going to blow up. Like I said, we were just having fun, and I guess we kind of did realize that it might be something, when we started getting a little traction. But like you said, Sobi, in high school, it wasn't like the Minnetonka high school fishing team now that's got 200 kids or whatever it is. There was a couple kids that liked to bass fish, and
there were like
I don't think there was really anyone else that fished tournaments besides me at my whole high school. And it was, like you guys were from down south. Veach was from Centerville, out by Wiper Lake. Chappie's from Annandale. It was just kind of a hodgepodge of random dudes, and that's just kind of how it started. I mean, Waldo was there at the beginning too, and he fished, and obviously Spock. That kid's fished since the day he was out of the womb. So we just built like a small little group, and we're kind of from everywhere, so it made it easier to travel and hang out with everyone.
Dang.
Yeah.
I gotta tell this story, and I feel like, and then we'll get into some more juice, whatever. But I feel like, so when I was a freshman in college, God, I don't really know if I had hung out with Brent much at all. Maybe.
Was this when we went to the concert?
Maybe not at all. So there's I'm a freshman in college, but now it's maybe the summer in between freshman and sophomore year, or maybe I don't think I'd gone to college yet. Maybe it was.
I think
right
it was
after
your
I graduated high school.
Senior year summer before you went to college.
Yeah, and I had this weekend bass tournament. Probably 20 minutes down the road from my house. I loved this lake. It's a good jig fishing lake, good reed flipping lake. Bart is gone and out of town or something. Brock is somewhere gone. And I'm like, God dang, I really want to enter this tournament. And back then, it's all team tournaments, right? Still basically is like, it's just a Saturday team tournament. I love this lake. And I think Bart was talking to me, and I was like, I don't have anybody to fish it with. You know what I mean? Because seriously, back in the day, if I was going to fish a tournament around my house, like, it's got to be with Bart or Brock, or like,
yeah, no one else really did it. Like
no one else really did it, or can bass.
There wasn't a
no one else can
backup
use a
option.
bait caster from my high school. Like, are you shitting me? Like, what am I going to do? Fish a solo against?
We could barely use a bait caster.
And there's no like youth tournaments back then, so I'm like 18 showing up, and every dude there is like 40 to 50 years old, and they're just dialed like old school hammers. So I'm like,
yeah.
And Bart's like, oh, dude, just ask Relo. And I'm like, I mean, I've never really met him. And Bart's like, yeah, why not? Like, yeah, I fish tournaments all the time. Just ask him. Just be like, come down. Be like, grab your rods and fish. Like, that's how people do it. And I was like, oh, I mean, okay. So I like ask Relo, and he's like, oh yeah, sure, hell yeah. So oddly, I was like, and obviously I don't have a house at this time. I'm like, come crash my parents' house, and then we'll go roll to this lake in the bass tracker. And on that same night, I was like, oh no, one of our other good buddies from high school, Morgan Perry, aka Call Me Charisma, shout out Call Me Charisma, who's kind of an alternative rapper / rock star now. He made it big. He was doing like a pop-up concert at the garage, and he was one of my good friends at the time. He's like, yo, dude, Sobi, you gotta come. You gotta be there and support. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like I'm definitely fishing the tournament. Brent's definitely coming to my house, and I have to definitely go support like one of my buddies. So without even really knowing Brent, he's on his way down. I'm like, yo, by the way, like, do you want to go to like this local rap concert? And Brent's probably like, what the? I mean, sure.
There was definitely a what the fuck moment that went through my head as I was driving down there. But then I was like, well, it doesn't hurt.
And I'm like on the phone with him. I'm like, well, I just want to let you know I'm in the same boat too, because I've never really been to like a local rap concert. So this is one of my friends, so we have to go. And I really do want to support him, and I don't really know what we're getting into. So
yeah, no, that was fun.
We go to that, and then we fish the tournament. We have a great freaking day. I think we cracked like 18 pounds, maybe even more.
I was going to say, wasn't that the old like Bass Pursuit days where you weighed in 4? So it was from like 7 to noon, and you guys had 4 for like 16 and a half or 17.
Yeah,
and
we
took like
them
6th.
Yeah,
we whacked them
Like,
and took like 5th or 6th, and we're like, holy shit. Like,
yeah, they banged on them. And that lake was going then.
Yeah. Oh, that was freaking, that was kind of how I met Brent. And then everything just kind of is domino effect after that of just like, you know, getting an invitation from Brent and the boys to join TYO, join the group and the page. And we start creating this content together on Facebook. And it was, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
And Sobi, so before you and I even joined TYO, Rel and I are buddies, and we had fished together a bit, but I was not an ice fisherman. I was a bass fisherman. Do you remember, Rello, me going out ice fishing with you for the first time?
I will never forget it.
Tell some of these stories. You got to tell some of these stories. Bart,
this is probably honestly better from Rello's perspective than mine. Because
I mean, I probably don't remember as much as the details of you do. Was that when we were down in Winona, or was it up in the city?
No. That's when I drove up to Bemidji.
Oh, yeah.
I drove up to Bemidji and I said, what do I bring? It was my freshman year of college. I'd been ice fishing a handful of times, but like we were like going, right? Like I was going to be a part of these cool 13 fishing shoots and like everything that was going on. I'm like, all right, like I am ice fisherman. I'll figure this out. And then
I think I basically was like, I have everything. Just bring warm clothes because I don't own anything that's extra large tall, unless Spock was here. Because if you wore my bibs, you would have looked like Spock back in the days with where the flood's coming. But I think Adam's phrase of that weekend was, "I can't feel my hands." Your hands get so goddamn cold every time, and I'm like, "There's hand warmers. I got muffs things. There's gloves. Like your hands are gonna freeze no matter what, brother." And that just is part of it.
And my ice suit I showed up in was an Onyx rain suit. It was just my thicker rain suit. I was like, this should be fine.
Yeah.
But that's like, that was also that time back in the day. Not everybody had an ice suit. Like,
no.
And Bart was like,
not everyone even had an ice rod or a
teaching
Vex rod.
Bart to ice fish.
Yeah.
No, you
And that's-
legitimately did teach me how to ice fish.
And now,
Like the basics.
I look at the kids, and you guys see it nowadays. There's 14, 15-year-old kids running around with a brand new auger and a live scope and a Shields case full of Elliots or tuned ups or clam rods or whatever it is. It's like,
Yeah.
holy buckets. Like, this is sweet to see, but I wish I had that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I really don't, because I think it taught us a lot up here.
Yeah.
I don't know how many puddles that me and Sam and even you guys came to explore with me where I didn't know if there was a damn fish in there. You know, this was like,
Yeah.
this was damn near pre-nav on your phone days. Like,
Yeah.
we
I
just
think it was pre-nav on the phone days.
yeah, like one of our cool lakes up here, for instance, me and Sam, we were duck hunting, I think our freshman year of fall, and I saw a bunch of ducks on this lake. And Sam, you fished this, and Bart, you know which one it is. It's private up here, but used to have just giant crappies in it. And I had no idea. So we go duck hunting. Well, before that, I go knock on the guy's door. Super nice old fella. Love to see the kids up here duck hunting. Gives us permission. Then he goes, oh, by the way, if you walk down my property, you'll find my dock. There's a couple bags of decoys and a duck boat. You guys can feel free to use it. And I'm like, no way, dude. That's so cool. So we go out there, shoot a bunch of ducks. It was a great time. Go tell him all the stories, and old timers love to hear what happened, how they were decoying, what species we shot. And finally we look in his door, and he's got two giant crappies on the wall. And I'm like, where the hell are those from? Just kind of striking conversation, not asking for a lake. And he just kind of smirks, and he goes, right out my back door. And I'm like, no way. And we hadn't talked about ice fishing. He didn't know anything about us doing media stuff, or if you could even call it media stuff. It was just Facebook screw around stuff at that point. And yeah, we got permission from him and went and smashed giant bluegills and crappies out there, and it was a good time. But it's the little connections like that up here that you don't find many other places.
Yeah.
That's why Bemidji's so special.
And it's just flooded with all these little pothole ditch lakes, wooded freaking sloughs that
No
like
maps.
all no nav, no maps. They have
Yeah.
potential. And what you guys are doing up there, that was so cool, especially back in the day. Like, you didn't have Onyx Hunt on your smartphone. You didn't have a smartphone.
No.
And you didn't have Onyx Fish. Like, you were probably potentially looking up some of the bigger lakes to maybe look at a survey. But other than that, it's like drill and pray, and pray, and figuring out a way to get to some of these lakes. Like, that was always some of the most beautiful memories I have of being up there young at your place, is like you just taking me down these back logging roads to get to a lake where your truck barely fits. And I'm just like, how did they find this?
Mm-hmm. We drilled into a lot of mud a lot of times and burnt a lot of calories walking back in the day in the old Lamborghinis. Yeah, we didn't have a four-wheeler. We didn't have a snowmobile. It was, if we wanted to get somewhere, I'm either beating the hell out of my pickup to get back there as far as we can and then walking. And it might be sweet. It might suck. It might be really good in the evening, but we fished it in the morning. It was really fun to do the true exploratory thing.
Yeah.
And we didn't have many connections up here. We didn't know any upperclassmen that fished hard. Guys like Corey Studer had been up there, and like Tim Furch and Brewer and those fellows helped us out when we started working more with the clam guys. But it was always, we never asked. It was a you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing. We never went out searching for tips on lakes. I mean, if you're willing to let us go out there, sure, but we're not going to go burn it to the ground. It was just so fun to go exploring. And I think that's one thing that people miss nowadays, is that factor. Up here, there's still so many lakes without surveys, or they're from 1962 and there was white suckers in there and that was it. But it could have 16-inch crappies in it or 10-inch bluegills or whatever. There's still a lot of that up here, but there's so much good water now. Like with Onyx Fish, you can type in trophy bluegill and lakes pop up. It definitely makes it a little easier, but it's been fun to watch the progression of fishing just in the last 10, 12 years up in good old remote Bemidji.
So maybe that parlays really great into kind of our next thing in like the progression of fishing. So like, talk to me about how you initially got involved with Elliott fishing rods and kind of your progression in the industry, what you've seen and how that's changed with time, technology, advancements. Like you've always been a tackle tinkerer, a rod tinkerer, a gear tinkerer, like with everything. You've modded every time I go up there, it doesn't matter if I was 16 or now that I'm 30, like you're always modding something out or playing with something. And I just kind of want to know what got you into playing with modding stuff and then now how that's kind of turned into your career.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the tinkering thing definitely came at a young age. Like you were saying, when we were fishing tournaments, Veach and I were fishing random stuff all over the state basically, and we're fishing against these guys that have been fishing these lakes for 30 some years, you know.
Yeah.
We always tried to think of some random thing that would help us get some sort of upper edge on the guys that already know everything. And obviously no one always knows everything, but when you're 17, 18, 19 years old fishing against these Minnesota hammers,
You know nothing.
nothing, you know, and we threw a flick shake and a Senko and liked to throw a frog. So we'd throw a frog, but we didn't know when to actually throw a frog, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the bitty baits thing stemmed from, is I loved making jigs, different colors, trying different stuff, figuring out what jig heads work and what kind of structure, just shit like that. And it was fun to catch stuff on your own stuff, you know, like
Yeah.
you guys know you've been a hand in designing stuff, and Bart, you guys have the Niku stuff, and Sobi, you've been involved in a lot of different companies, and now like the Crush City stuff, and you get to see kind of the back end of why stuff is made, and it's not just a random bait that comes out for no reason.
Yeah.
There's reasons that all these baits are successful. There's a lot of duds in the fishing industry. We all know that.
Oh yeah.
But there's certain ones that just hit, and that's kind of what got me into that, was trying to figure out how to beat people that I knew more than me.
Sure.
And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, you know. Like when we went to Shields that one day and just piss pounded them on a white and pink swim jig with the blade on the back, you know, that was something totally different. And the amount of tournaments that me and Veach did well in, or even one, was on just random stuff that your average, you know, weekend warrior fisherman. It wasn't a green pumpkin Senko. It wasn't a green pumpkin trickworm. It wasn't a black trickworm. It wasn't anything normal. We tried different shit, and sometimes Old Faithful always works. You know,
Yeah.
a black blue jig, it works. A green pumpkin jig, it works. But that's kind of where my love for that side of the industry started. Going into the Elliott thing, you know, I was scooping minnows up here in Bemidji, and I was happy enough to meet Aaron Templin a long time ago, and Paul Thorne and him got pretty close, and they started TBI, Two Brothers Innovations, in 2018, and I got on board pretty early after that. But this is just advice to kids too that want to get in the fishing industry. I got hired by Paul and Greg Thorne. I didn't think I was going to be building rods. I didn't think I was going to be designing anything. I cleaned the toilets, swept the floors, brought garbage to the dump, worked part-time, just kind of did whatever I could to get in with them.
Yeah.
You know, and then fortunate enough, I stayed there for whatever, 5.5, 6 years, until we sold to Acme a year and a half ago. And by the time I started to finished, I was designing rods with Greg Thorne and Paul Thorne and helping them with ideas and just being a sponge to them, because they have so much knowledge about the industry.
Yeah. And,
You know,
if anybody's, I don't want to interject, but if anybody's listening too, like these are the guys, the last name Thorne, these are the guys that, you know, famously started Thorne Brothers and Thorne Brothers Customs. Like that's where this all derives from. And this is kind of, you know, their second company, their second go at it. So, all right, continue.
yeah, because, you know, Paul and Greg arguably built some of the first custom ice fishing rods ever. And Greg's kind of idea behind that was what's like the instructor baton thing. That was kind of his first thing, where it was made out of fiberglass, and he thought that would make a better fishing rod, you know, a fish catcher, than anything out there that was really being produced anywhere. So it came from a long time. That was back in early 1980s, maybe late 70s. But yeah, the fact that Thorne Brothers is still a thing, obviously they're not still the owners. Greg went on to work for a handful of different fishing companies. Paul was one of the owners in starting Markham Technologies. So they've been in the outdoor industry since probably mid 70s. And it was really cool to learn everything from them that they've soaked in the last 50 years, damn near.
Yeah.
So that was really sweet to be a part of that.
I just have to say this too. Like so like bouncing up there in the winters, like this is right when you were first starting to get in with the Elliott, and you were showing me all these different custom rods and just different blanks you were feeling out. You were always prototyping and feeling something out, whether it be a small schoolie rod or just a little bit heavier action bluegill rod, like whatever. You're showing me all the mad scientist stuff. And I would always just sit there and I would go, dude, I'm like 25 at the time. And when I was a kid, we still used to fish with just the cork rods or the foam rods with the white blanks, and they had the little tiny schoolie reel or the 2 sticks. Like, I'm not 150 years old, but
the old jiggle stick.
Yeah, straight up a legitimate jiggle stick. We used to buy them at Holiday gas station, and then they were the foam bobbers with a toothpick in the top. Like, I fished my whole childhood with that, and then I'm not even like 150 years old. And then you're showing me these crazy rod technologies, and I'm just like, this is unbelievable, dude. Like,
well, I grew up with, fishing with my dad, and he loved to ice fish, but he wasn't as hardcore as we are. I don't think many people were back then, but we had a yellow bucket full of HT True Blues and some random shitty little spinning reels with those little clip-on bobbers from our buddy.
Yeah.
The Ice Buster bobbers. And that's what we did. We'd go to Minnetonka or Medicine or any of the surrounding West Metro lakes, and we'd basically we'd drill 2 holes and set up a shack. And if we caught them, we caught them. If we didn't, we'd move in an hour and a half or 2 hours. And if it totally sucked, we just went home. That was part of it. We don't really do that anymore. If it sucks, we're going to be moving.
It's just crazy too. Like, I remember being a kid, and like Brock's dad had a St. Croix ice fishing rod, and I'd go in his garage and I'd be like, "Oh, dude, bring that." And he'd go, "No, I can't touch that." and literally, if any of us were to probably feel that rod now, like a 2009 St. Croix ice fishing rod, we'd probably feel it now and laugh. It was probably so stiff and huge eyelets and gross. But like back in the day, if somebody's dad had a St. Croix ice fishing rod, you'd be like, "Oh, it's not for kids to use." This is don't even look at it. Walk away.
Well, it's like, I remember even open water fishing. My dad and a couple of his buddies, fished old walleye tournaments and multi-species tournaments, and they loved it. And I remember seeing like 1 G Loomis or 1 St. Croix or something like that, and you're like, oh God, whatever you do, if you want to live another day, do not even look at that thing. Don't step on it. Don't look at it. Don't even touch it. And nowadays, you look at everyone's boats, and they have 30 or 40 combos that are $200 to $600 a piece, and it's like, holy shit, what changed there? But it's again just the industry.
Dang. So now, oh gosh, continue. Go ahead, Bart.
Well, no. So we talked about him getting into the tackle tinkering side. So I think what I'm interested in too is, so with the development, and we kind of jumped ahead there, but like with the development of TYO. So a lot of people, even, I mean, I know Sobi and I get it a ton when we're at shows and everything. Even doing this, people reach out and they're like, I still watch the old TYO videos. And for people that don't know, that's Team Yukon Outdoors, Rello, Sam Moore, and 2 other guys, like you said before, started it. I can't remember their names.
Yeah, Jake and Andrew.
I never knew Jake and Andrew.
Yeah.
But so I think it was my sophomore or junior year of college is when you invited us, kind of like walk us through, like there was a first rendition of TYO, and then there was like kind of a second rendition. And like, that's where like, there are so many people that are part of the fishing industry now that were involved in some level around there. Like, what kind of happened and transpired? Because it ended up kind of leading to pushing a lot of different media stuff in the fishing industry up here.
For sure. Jake and Andrew they're natural born killers. They love to deer hunt, pheasant hunt, turkey hunt, waterfowl, ducks, geese, ponds, fields, whatever it is, they're killers. So they kind of wanted to go that direction. And we just, I wouldn't say we necessarily split ways, but they kind of wanted to focus more on the hunting stuff. Sam and I wanted to stay more on the fishing stuff. And then I don't exactly, well, what kind of happened was that's when we were starting to get more involved with clam. And obviously we were still involved with 13. So we had conversations there of, do we think clam would be okay with us using 13 rods, but using clam other stuff? It got a little muddy. No hard feelings on anyone's platform there, but Sam.
Well, and this is also a time in the industry when like it was very hardcore, like you're this way or you're this way. Like there was no blending,
blood's
no
crick.
matter what.
It was the color war, and that's what it was. And Sam continued to grow with the 13 company, got really close with the boys, ended up staying with them to do a lot of their media stuff because that's kind of around the same area when they moved everything down to Florida. They were starting to come out with open water rods, and Sam got I don't basically like an internship, I would say.
I think he ended up having a full. I visited him in Tampa once, and he was working there full time eventually.
Yep, I think it started off as kind of having him be one of their main media guys, which is awesome to see what that's kind of transpired into for him and his career because that was a big thing. 13 blew up.
Yeah, and that was also back in a time when companies didn't have media guys in house. There was no in-house media. There was no social media, to be honest.
Yeah,
really.
So that's kind of what changed there, and then we basically just said like we were still buddies. We weren't as close as we once were. We didn't live together after our freshman year, but still talked and fished all the time. And he did his thing, and I did mine, and that's kind of when I decided let's grow TYO a little bit more. But my hang up was I'm not the film or editor guy. I can do it. Am I great at it? I wouldn't say that, but I could do something to get content out as we know now that we didn't know back then. Any content is king. Just posting regularly is big. Back then we were so hung up on, this video sucked. We didn't catch any big ones. Or we only have 6 minutes of footage over 2 days. Let's just scrap it and throw it away. And we're not even going to do anything.
That's from the time period we're from still. And I still feel like I deal with a lot of that stuff today, but like, that was just like where we came from. It's like, do we have enough stuff to put together a full editorial piece of like 15?
And we always wanted stuff to be dope. That was the thing. Like we wanted it to be cool. We wanted to show off big fish, A video back then of 8-inch bluegills would not have gotten posted. Because it was probably a pride thing from all of us of just like, we could do that anywhere. We're up in northern Minnesota. This is kind of buns.
Well, I think it was also a little thing too, because like you said, pride of like we also were the young guys, and there were old guys like breathing down our necks of like, what are you guys doing? Like, do you deserve to be here? So it was like we can't miss. Like you almost felt like you had that pressure on you.
Yeah, and this was before like vlogging was cool. We didn't know that we could film fish fries, catch and cook. That wasn't a thing. It was let's go to some little bumfuck Egypt lake in the back of the woods and pound on them. And it wasn't even, we didn't have drones. We didn't even really know what B-roll was at the beginning. It was just straight fish catching, the slow-mo drilling a hole with the sunrise in between your legs.
Yeah.
Some underwater stuff. Like me and Sam used to tape hockey sticks together and shove them under the ice with GoPros on it to get underwater stuff. And it was just, we did what we had to do, I guess. But back to kind of where you're going, Adam, that's when I kind of figured out like, okay, I got a bunch of buddies that would fit into this, genre of what we're doing very well. So let's kind of get everyone involved and see how it goes. And there was a lot of really cool dudes that were involved for a long time that all helped TYO grow. And I think the biggest thing is we all helped each other grow in the industry. It wasn't just like, there wasn't one person that stood out that was the head of everything that made the the train go forward. There wasn't one guy pumping the gas. It was a team thing. And when I couldn't go, Adam would go. And when Sobi couldn't film, Adam would film. And it was just one of these things, like, obviously we were in college.
Yeah.
And you can't just up and leave in college for a week to go to Wisconsin or whatever trip we were taking.
And it was really cool because, yeah, a lot of us were in college and at that exact college age, but we also had guys from different sections of kind of the Midwest in Minnesota. So, like,
Yeah.
you have somebody like an Andrew Ozowski catching bluegills out of a creek, and then you got somebody else pounding geese, and then you got somebody else catching bass, and then early ice is starting, and those boys are starting to do that, and then, you got somebody killing a deer. You know what I mean? There was, like, as far as Facebook posting and just putting together a conglomerate of, like, just awesome outdoor content for Facebook at the time, it was like, oh dang.
Yeah.
Oh dang. Like it was cool. Like such an eclectic array of folks.
It was a pretty diverse group of fellas when it came to what you're good at, what you enjoyed doing, and yeah, like you said, the area. It was pretty Minnesota based heavily, but Minnesota is such a diverse state in general. You guys down south looks like a different world to me up here.
Oh yeah.
It just not even the lakes, just the landscape and how things go. I grew up in the cities, and you guys were an hour south or something.
Yeah.
We moved 3.5 hours north, and just the difference from you guys to the cities to St. Cloud to Brainerd to Bemidji to Baudette, it changes so much from north to south, where Minnesota is such a cool spot for that, where you can do so much different stuff even within the same 2 weeks. Like you said, I could be killing geese here and guys would still be open water fishing. You guys would still be hammering largemouth down in the mud puddles. But yeah, it worked. It was pretty cool. But it took the team to do it. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah. Oh, and it was a full team effort. I'll never forget when we got there's just core memories, I think, for all of our lives from that group. Like when we got our first ever paying sponsor deal.
Oh yeah.
We went to my parents' house and literally popped a bottle of champagne, and we had so much to drink that night.
And don't get me wrong, it's not like we got a $10,000 paycheck. It was like $500.
Yeah.
And we're like, we made it.
We're so buying a handy cam. We're so buying a handy cam off eBay, and guess what we have? We have equipment now. Like we're so gonna film. Like
I remember getting that first shoulder cam Sony, and we're like, okay, this thing is sick. None of us even knew how to use it at the beginning, but we're gonna figure it out pretty quick.
And just oh my gosh, if we could have gone back and had just head mounts on us to capture the whole thing. Like I just remember every winter Bart would go up and I would go up and be with you at weeks at a time, but Bart would also go up, I feel like, for the whole month.
Mm-hmm. There was one winter where I had a 32-day winter break, and I spent 28 of them in Bemidji.
And he would come back and he'd go, I fish so much. I'm so broke. We fished so many different lakes, and we went to 25 different bars, and I have no more money because I spent all money on bar tabs. But it was the best winter break of my life. Dude, that was even right before we started doing the filming stuff. It was we're just fishing, dude. Bums, true fish bums, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got, this is not financial advice for anybody, by the way. Do not take this, but I got my first credit card in Bemidji during that spout because Cody Kraft worked at Wells Fargo, and he could get me a college kid credit card for $750 because I could not get home for Christmas.
Yeah.
I could not fill my car. So I literally had to do that before Christmas Eve, before I left town, so that I could actually get gas. And then I drove home, went home for Christmas for 2 days, drove right back up and went, all right, this thing has $400 more on it. I think I can stretch it out for another week.
It was gas and Busch Light and Captain Morgan. That's about what that month entailed of. And a lot of fish.
A lot of fish.
A lot of fish.
Fishing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And we spent so much time on the water. And I mean, then it leads into we did that. I still can't believe it was a good idea. I can't believe we ever got backing of it when we took people around.
Oh,
do you guys remember that? And we did that, but it still turned out fairly good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
It was
like,
a good thing to do. The Lake of the Woods trip when we took that fella, I can't remember his name, and his little son, I think he was 8 or 9 years old.
yeah.
We went up to Lake of the Woods out of Sportsman's in Badette there and piss pounded Lake of the Woods walleyes in a whiteout, and it was really cool. We got to put them up in the villa and everything, and that was such a cool trip where we kind of got to give back to, our fans back then. We thought it was a big deal to have 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, and now you shake a stick at that, but that's kind of how it started. And that was the funnest part, interacting with the people that got on board early. And, at the ice shows, I still get, like you guys do, a couple of fellas that come up every now and then. They're like, why don't you do this anymore? And, oh, I missed those. And it was so fun. And it truly was, but God, is it a grind? As you guys know, it is damn near, it's a full-time job.
It is
to do it and do it the right way and market it the right way and work your sponsor shows and help with sponsor media days and everything. It's a damn grind.
It's a total grind. But I like over the years, just whether it be different sports shows or even Champions Tour tournaments, like I will have guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s, about that range, who come up and be like, dude, I'm OG, like I'm from the TYO days, and they'd say that, dude, and I just like give them a hug, dude. Yeah, I give them a hug because I'm just like, are you serious? And they're like, oh yeah, and they'll rattle something off that they wouldn't know unless they knew. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, dude. It's incredible, and that was where we gained all our skills, not just of being better at ice fishing and breaking down lakes and harboring our skills as anglers, but like that's where we learned to put together stories or create content or media, or learned how to market, or learned how to put together a story, learned how to film a day fishing.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you two and Sam were always so good at was storytelling. It's not just we're going to go hammer as many fish and it's going to be 15 minutes of hook sets. It was once you guys got that, I wouldn't say in your head, but kind of inspired by whatever tripped your trigger. We can go into YouTube guys that inspired you guys to kind of story tell like you do now. That's when things got really cool.
Yeah.
Like the actual trips we took and filming the entire thing, like the voyage vlogs. That was such a cool time when we got to go to a handful of really cool places, and you guys are so talented about telling the story. Why we're going there, where we're going, the travel, the food, the dicking around. I wish we could have got to film more of the dicking around like folks can nowadays, but maybe not.
That was when I crashed my first drone.
Yep.
And then Sobi said it's not broken and proceeded to crash it within 3 seconds of putting it in.
I was like, I'm pretty good at drones. Let me put this thing up.
Was that with Eric when he couldn't stop laughing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was when I put it up in the air. We were filming for whatever that coffee company they were starting was. I can't remember that. And I put it up because I was filming our TYO video and they were doing some coffee commercial or whatever. And you and I were like, I looked at you and I'm like, I'm just going to get a drone shot for our videos. We're going to proceed to catch these bluegills and crappies. I don't care about what they're doing. And then I put it up. It said, I'm flying to Canada. And I had to put it into a snowbank.
She said, see you never. I'm going north.
Gonzo, see ya. I put it into a snowbank. Peric went and got it. That led off his video because he was pumped that I crashed a drone because he's like, sweet, I'll get views immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we went over to Schwamigan.
Yeah.
And we were going to fly it down that alleyway. And Sobi was like, dude, I can fly this. And he put it up, and I have
figured out how hard a white pine is when you fly a DJI drone into it.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen a drone smoke something as firmly and solidly as
it was
that
like
drone
center
hit that
punch.
pine.
It's like you're trying to hit a 4-iron punch out on a par 5, and you just smoke a tree, and it comes right back at your forehead.
Yes, it was solid.
Yeah.
I look back on those days, and I just go like, maybe you just think more when you're older, but like it's not even just like in a career sense. It could be in repairing the fascia on the side of my house or different stuff or whatever. Like there's so many things now. I'm like, I don't know how to do that, or I don't know if I should do that. I don't know how to do that. I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we retell some of these stories, and I just go like, you do remember like we had no idea what the hell we were doing. Basically 99.9% of the time we were just doing it or trying it. Like we didn't have a roadmap. We didn't even barely have good internet service, or we didn't have Chat GPT. We didn't have Siri. We didn't even have Google. We didn't barely have smartphones. Like we didn't know what the hell we were doing, but we would just do it. And there's sometimes I just wish I had that back, that like, oh, doesn't matter. Like you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out type mentality, or just go for it type mentality. We had so much of that back then, and it was gold, dude. It was incredible.
I'll always remember that trip when I picked up Wes at the Bemidji airport.
Yeah.
I pick him up and it's like 0 degrees out, and he's got one little duffel bag, and he's in chinos and extra tufts and like a sweatshirt that we're all wearing now. And I'm like, tell me you got some shit hiding somewhere, brother, because you're going to be really cold. And he's like, no, I'm okay. I'm like, dude, one, you're from Florida.
He's like, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, and it's not warm up here, and there's 1.5 feet of snow, and you have extra tufts. What size boot do you wear? And thank God he was like a 10, 10 and a half, 11 or something, so I had some extra shit for him. And then I remember him pulling out, I was like an A7 II at the time or something, and I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Like, you're not screwing around. Like, we had our little cool Sony shoulder cam thing on that little Amazon mount that costed probably $50-$60, and then he pulled out the big rig, and that's even when you had one too. Wasn't it when you were with Eric and had one, an A7 or A7 II, whatever it was? And I'm like, okay, these are dope. Like that's videographer, photographer, sweet shit. This isn't backwoods hodunk GoPro 2 on a hockey stick for a extra angle type of thing. But yeah, it was one of those things that we didn't know what the hell we were doing half the time. And I would say more than half the time we didn't have any idea.
That's the thing for kids getting into it these days to think too, is like, you definitely don't need to have a plan or anything you're thinking of. Just like doing it with the right mentality and like the right reason of like, we just went out and did it because we love doing it. We love doing it with each other.
Mm-hmm.
There was no other plan.
We weren't making a living off of it. We were losing our ass doing it, but it was damn fun.
Substantial amounts of money.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wouldn't
but gaining so many memories.
Yeah.
So now I want to bounce back forward again.
I got one more just because I'll remember this. I remember this one randomly. What's the loudest noise you think you've ever heard in your life, Relo? Because I have one, and you will remember it immediately when I say it, but maybe...
When they rocket your windshield?
No, that was not what I was going to say, but that could be it as well.
We were going out east up to fish by like bowstring, and you took a rock to your windshield, and it sounded like a 223 round just wrapped your windshield.
I forgot about that.
We were going like 70, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what was that?
No, my answer would be when Spock bit into the BB of the goose jerky or the goose stick you made when we were in North Dakota.
That was bad. Yeah, it split a molar, and we're in Turtle Mountains, North Dakota. Like first night we were there staying at the casino in Belcourt or Botno or whatever it is. I'm like, oh God, this is not good.
Like, dude, we got back, we hadn't eaten all day, and we're like going to eat in this like shitty little restaurant or whatever it is because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And Spock just grabs a goose stick, bites as hard as he can into it, and you just hear a crack and just immediate swearing and and his tooth is cracked straight in half.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That was bad.
That is still the loudest. That is the loudest noise I've still. And also to give to Spock, there is nobody who enjoys fishing more than Spock, because that happened on the first day, and he proceeded to stay there for 2.5 days longer before going home and getting dental work done. He just basically didn't eat for the next 2.5 days.
Oh my God.
The funniest thing is we've got sticks and summer sausage and brats made from that fella down in LaPorte, Minnesota. I don't know, probably 20 minutes south of Bemidji here. Does awesome work. But since then and before then, I've never found another BB in anything. So that was just Spock's luck to find the one stick on the first bite and house it in the back of his mouth.
He hammers it.
And split a tooth when we're 8 hours away.
I cannot emphasize how loud it was. It was so loud.
Yeah.
like
that was
shivers down your
rugged.
spine. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, go ahead. So I just had to, because that's like that is also a core memory from traveling around the Midwest was that.
Yeah.
So also I want to preface, like, anytime you got to go, Rello, or anytime you need to wrap it up, you just let us know.
I'm
You
good.
let us
I
know.
think Gretzky's sleeping and Danny's watching some whatever girls watch for shows these days.
Yeah. If you got to go, you just let us know.
I wanted to.
He hasn't made a peep in a little bit here, so we'll be all right.
Little homie sleeping.
Little homie sleeping.
I want to go into. Okay, so this brings you into. So TYO has brought so many different folks into so many different types of the industry.
But we didn't even go through. So who, all those people that were a part of it? It was me, Sobi, Spock,
Waldo, Stolsky, Newley. Oh boy, I'm gonna forget some of them.
Bo.
Yeah, Bo. Yeah,
the hockey player.
Debo. Cody Kraft, Brad Schumacher.
Yeah.
I mean, the list.
Rick Hildenbrand.
Yep, Rick back in the day. I mean, Veach did some stuff with us before he moved. Yeah, there was a lot of people involved, and it's crazy to see the amount of people that are now like
around
full time in the fishing industry. Like, not just as a hobby, but like Will. What country is he in right now?
Yeah.
Where is he catching trout? Is he killing elk? Is he killing stag? Is he finding a hot pizza girl? Is he? I don't know.
Yes,
he still is in
love. Down in Nebraska. Brad's out in North Dakota. Newley's guiding. Like, Will is doing Will things. Because like Pappy joined on a couple videos back in the day, and
I first met him when Will was like 3 times size Will.
Yeah. Thank God he's doing better. I talked to him. Like I said, Newley took him fishing today, and he said his ribs are still a little sore and his back sore, but thank God he's even here. That was brutal.
Yeah, that looked like a horrible car crash. One of our good buddies, Will, I just saw he posted on Facebook, Wally Will Pappenfist. He got in a wicked car crash. What's the details of that?
Yeah, I didn't really get the whole full on thing, but he was going to work at Northwoods Bait and Tackle. Shout out them. Right here in Bemidji, and he lives just west of town. And I guess some guy hit him head on going 70 miles an hour. And, if he was in his big rig pickup, he probably would have just ran the guy over, walked away, and he would have been fine. But yeah, he got pretty banged up, but he's doing good now. He had a rod in his hand, and I saw him catch a few today. So
that's good.
Walleye Will is back. A little sore, but he's back.
He's back, baby.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Okay. Anyway, so that's everybody that was in it. Go ahead, Sobi. Sorry now.
So now I want you to talk about, because you kind of got to see, I mean, you still see that, so much of that, but you saw from the outside doing marketing and stuff here to now working internally in a company, and then product development, and then kind of running a pro staff and doing all that. Like you got to be not just working on the outside of the industry, but you got to be inside the industry. And what was that like? And then how do you think that's changed, and where do you see it going?
It's definitely different to be kind of to go from a pro staff role to kind of building shot lists or coming up with marketing ideas to tell other people to do, or, running a pro staff. With Elliot, we were so lucky that our core group is so awesome. We always had the saying of keep it small and keep it family orientated, where we were pretty damn picky about who we kind of put on staff, and wanted to find the right guys with the right mentality, the right attitude, the right kind of look on the industry, whether you're a guide or a social media dude or a YouTuber, whatever it is. We kind of tried to cherry pick and, find the right dudes instead of just put a rod in every single person's hand that we possibly could. So I feel like that part of the industry has definitely changed a little bit, where in the old days, it was just kind of, if someone was successful, you didn't know if they're a good dude or a bad dude or whatever. You're getting product no matter what. I feel like that's kind of changed a little bit. People are a little more stingy to who they're going to invest in, because they know the ROI of certain things are better than others. A successful YouTuber is going to sell you product, if they're a good person and a good dude and have a good following, where some random Joe Schmo that no one really knows, might be a guide, might be a big Facebook following, something. He might not sell that many products, so the industry is always changing in that realm of finding out who moves the needle and who doesn't. And you still need your guys that, post hero shots and all the cool stuff, the big fish, wherever you may be, because that is good for social media and staying fresh. You don't want to post the same, 3 or 4 dudes for a whole year of the same.
And your guys, excuse me, and your guys that do work shows and sales fronts for you, like they're important too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Just having feet on the ground is a big deal. And again, that goes back to just being a good person, though. If you're kind and a good dude, you're probably going to do better at shows like that if you can socialize and laugh and make jokes. And what we always told all the guys is if they ever ask about different brands, never bash anything. I'll talk amazing words about Tuned Up and JT and Loomis and Croy and whatever else, Mags and Clam and whatever. It doesn't do anyone any good to sit there and kind of talk shit, because that just kind of makes you look dumb at the end of the day and less credible. Obviously use the products that you believe in and go from there and just be truthful about that, but there's no need for hatred. That doesn't go anywhere.
For sure. Well, and talking about, so it made me think of this too. So YouTubers that sell a lot of product, like for Elliot, for example, you guys have Tom Boley, who arguably has to be like the OG up here now, especially walleye stuff.
Yeah.
Where'd you first meet Tom, Relo?
Oh, I met Tom. You were with, we were in Wisconsin, Chippewa flowage with Dax and those guys, and
banging 9-inch crappies on the flowage, baby.
Yeah, we harvested and it was good. But yeah, that's back when he was guiding, and Cody Jorgensen he was with. And yeah, I remember Tom putting us in one of his little skid houses, me and Bart.
That actually is the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life.
And we were humming across in a 4-wheeler on the flowage down, I don't know how much, 10 inches, 12 inches of ice maybe. And yeah, it was louder than hell in there. And it was fun.
We even scream at each other.
And immediately just started piss pounding 9 to 10 inch crappies. And it was fun. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's where I first met Tom. And we made some old Johnsonville brats on the buddy heater back at the access there. And I think I talked to him the next year at the ice show, just kind of brought up the rod thing, and that moved forward. And now here we are. And obviously Paul and Greg were great ambassadors that Tom wanted to work with. And obviously Templin as well, a arguably famous walleye dude up here that's used to fish NWT and has had a lot of success around the state and the Midwest. So it was cool to get Tom on board with that. And that's one of those things where it was such a small group, everyone talked every day. Sobi, you were a part of it. Waldo was a part of it. Dusty Minky, Kyle Minky, Toby Cavallo-Vog. Again, I'm going to miss a bunch of guys here, but Will Pappenfuss, Steve Roller, Jake Felt, a bunch of those guys, Jace Peterson, they were kind of all on board from the get-go and helped grow the company as to what it is today.
Well, it's just like those connections we made when we were so much younger or whatever it is, right? Like when we met Tom was a guide. I think he had 1,000 subs on YouTube. Like we had like 7.5 to 10 on TYO at the time. And we were like, oh, we're getting going. And like, it's hilarious, the role reversal. Cause I remember when we were having the brats, he was asking us about like, how do I do the YouTube thing? And we're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Like we're learning just as quick as you are, but you're one dude and we're lucky enough to have like 8 or 9 so we can cover a little bit more. But yeah,
I look back now.
But that goes down to, again, what I said, just being a good dude,
Yeah.
He's such a likable dude and he's real about it.
Yeah.
When he makes his videos, he's very real and truthful. And, some of my favorite ones are when the guys bash him for using forward facing. And he's like, well, I'm going to go out and not use it then. I'll show you what to do without it. I'll just turn it off and use mega side and call it good.
Dude, he put that video on Facebook. I didn't watch the full one, but I saw the Facebook video he put out like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And he read the comment of like, you this, or like, you're a poor angler. And he like did like the cutaway. He's like, God, maybe I do suck. Maybe this all is a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
then
it's
he just
that, like,
side
the
image
dry
cast
humor
and
that's
caught one.
funny. Yeah. The dry humor that it's just like, all right, well, if that was the case, then maybe I do suck, and then catches one in like 3 casts.
Yeah, I love Tom. He's great. Well, we'll have to have him. We'll have him on Passive Barb sometime. We've talked to him a bunch about.
Yeah, we
coming
gotta
on
have
at
Tom
some
on.
point
Tom
in
is
time.
really funny though. He's
Yeah.
got a funny sense of humor like that.
For sure.
Very dry.
So what about kind of on the sports show side or product development side? I want to know that side of it, and I think a lot of people do too, because that's a part of the industry that exists. And whether you're a young kid or an old guy and you want to get anywhere involved with that, like that's a huge realm of the industry that doesn't get talked about a lot, I don't think, on podcasts.
Yeah, the product development side was really fun for me. Obviously, getting to work alongside Greg and Paul. I learned so much from them about rods that I didn't think I would ever know. The most minute things to something so normal that a normal person would just never think about. You know, whether it's Greg's biggest thing was always balance. That's why Elliot's saying always was feel the difference, you know, because with the Syncork handle that he developed, it's different and it's really light, and it's a cool product that kind of set Elliot apart from others off the get-go. And obviously Thorne has used it for a long time, and they've been using it for a long time. And it's just learning how to build a rod and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because anyone can, you know, you can go on Mudhole and buy a blank and buy some cool cork and spend $80 on recoil guides and build your own. That's badass. I love seeing all the builds that guys do. That's really cool. But figuring out, one, how to make it badass, and then two, how to make a lot of them in a good period of time, that was the biggest thing. Because we could go as intricate as you possibly could, but with us growing so quickly in the first 3-4 years with ice rods, we had to like kind of tame down what dealers we were selling stuff to, because we were selling out by Christmas every year, and then we couldn't build more. So it was kind of figuring out how to scale things. I learned a lot about, but then rod building and just sitting down with Greg for hours and Paul with rods and just figuring out what felt good and what didn't feel good, or why this rod should be like this and why it should be like this. Figuring out dead spots. We had a big deflection chart, which is just a giant grid basically hung on our wall, where you just basically hang a rod like this and put a weight on the end to see like the bend of the rod itself. And if there was a dead zone, if there's a dead spot, that blank would just get thrown out and be like, all right, that one's junk. Or just figuring out perfecting a noodle rod. There's so many good noodle rods out there, and everyone fishes them differently, whether you want a super soft tip for 2 or 3 mil tungstens, or if you want a little bit stiffer to like pound a spoon or pound a 5 mil jig, but still be able to see that bite. But if it's too soft, then that jig isn't going to have the right cadence.
Yeah.
It's little stuff like that you just learn the more rod blanks you look at. And then it comes down to guide spacing and handle configuration, and all sorts of stuff goes into making a rod. It's not just order a bunch of handles, glue them on, and wrap some guides and call it good. There's a lot of R&D that goes into it, and something might feel really good, and then you go fish it and you're like, this is trash.
Yeah.
Like it's just not right. And that's the cool thing, like with open water rods, ice fishing, there's only so many techniques. It's a tungsten jig or a spoon, or unless you're going into big pike and stuff, but it's jigs and spoons basically. There's minnow baits and rattle baits too, but that's kind of a different realm. But it's so personal preference. One rod company is not really ever going to cover everyone's perfect build.
Yeah.
And that's what it's fun with open water rods. You can have, you guys have deckfuls and garagefuls of rods, and you still have your favorites. You have some you'll never get rid of that are just your favorites for whatever reason it is. But then Bart might hate Sobi's favorite rod because it just doesn't feel like what he wants it to feel like. It's such a cool thing where it's frustrating because you'll never make anyone happy or everyone happy. but it's also fulfilling when you do get those emails that are like, dude, I used so-and-so rod company forever and I bought one of yours and now I have 6 of them of the same thing. It's like, okay, that's dope. But then the show thing is, yeah, that's really important. That a lot of people don't talk about. Like you said, it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of work, but it's such a good way to market. You can actually talk to people. You have to know the product, obviously. And the more in depth you go on the product, the more people enjoy it, listening to an industry pro or pro staffer talk about that. Cause they don't want to, like, Shields is great. Their employees are stellar, but there's certain places where every employee might not know everything about everything, and that's totally fine. But it's nice to hear the in-depth breakdowns from someone that works for the company or has been involved with the company for a long time.
Yeah.
Dang. Absolutely. And with shows now, like, are you still going to as many? Are you going to be at St. Paul and everything this year? Are you guys doing as many, or are you guys leaning back on shows a little bit?
It's kind of hard to say. I do more now because Acme is such a huge brand nationwide.
Yeah.
Where, I go to a lot more of the big shows that we didn't go to with just Elliot. But yeah, we'll be at St. Paul. The next week I fly out to Oshkosh to go to that show. I think there's 2 or 3 more ice shows. And then, yeah, now that we acquired Brew City, that brings on all the marine shows and stuff like that down south and out east and out west. So yeah, I'd say I definitely go to more now with the new job and travel a lot more. But yeah, trade shows are huge, man. Whether it's like an industry show or a consumer show, you kind of have to do it. Like ICAST was, I wouldn't say amazing this year, but it was still ICAST, and it's a big footprint to go and talk to people and network. And it was cool.
Dang. But safe to say you probably know a lot of people now.
couple more. Yeah. It was nice. A lot of my accounts when I first got hired on to the sales position were the Midwest that I had worked with prior, buddies around the Midwest or whatever. So that was kind of nice to be like, oh, hey, I'm not just selling your rods anymore. Now you get the full gamut. But yeah, it's been fun. Meet a lot of people and travel a lot, see some cool country, and yeah, just networking. There's a lot of cool people in this industry. That's for damn sure.
Damn. What was it like? Yeah. What has it been like kind of working for the conglomerate now for Acme?
Yeah. What's it been like since the switch? Because that's been a year and a half.
Yeah. Like a year and a half. It was like last May, I think, or something. It's been good. I went from having to memorize like 40 or 50 SKUs to now like 5,000, it seems like. So that's been a lot to learn about all their products and jigs. And Acme's been so big in Wisconsin for so long. We kind of always had Northland and Rapala in our backyard, it felt like. So,
yeah.
And Clam. So Minnesota was always really based on that. But seeing how big Acme is and like seeing Castmaster sales, probably the most famous spoon ever, they are everywhere. And little Cleos and stuff like that, they're everywhere. And people just continue to buy them. And It's been good. Nothing's changed with the rod company. They're still all made by the same factory that we had before. All the design work and R&D is still done right here in Bemidji, and nothing's really changed there. So that's good.
Dang, that's cool. Just
a million hats now instead of one.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have long days and long sports show days and different traveling events you go to that you're just like, damn, you get tired out. But then you're probably like, man, if I would have met this person when I was scooping minnows, or this person then that developed into this, like, full-time job that, I mean, like, holy smokes. Like
whenever I get tired or not necessarily burnt out, but just, tired, it's just like, all right, think back to little 12-year-old Rello at my parents' house Sunday morning watching whoever, John Gillespie on Sunday morning on FSN with my old man. Like, I wanted to be in the industry at that young of an age.
Yeah.
Now, like, I'm pretty well deep into it, and I wouldn't change it. It's fun. I get to talk about fishing every day, and I can't complain too much there.
Well, now it's kind of a thing. Like we're all in the same spot, right? Where like if we're like lost our job or needed to do something else, we're kind of screwed. Like we're kind of
Yeah.
committed to the whole fishing industry thing because we've gotten in it now, and it's like I can't really go out of it. Like you know, it's like this cult for screwed.
We're
That's
stuck.
also kind of all we know.
Yeah,
That's what I
okay.
mean. Like we cannot integrate to society anymore. We are we are royally fucked.
Yeah, we're pretty well stuck, but it's a good place to be stuck.
It's a good place to be stuck because, like, at the end of the day, like when we were first doing this TYO stuff, honestly, I feel like that was always the dream, is just like
work in the industry,
work somewhere in the industry, be recognized by the industry, just somehow have a pinky finger inside this sweet world we call the fishing industry. And it's because that was one of our biggest passions in life, is just fishing or the industry or anything about it, anything about fishing. And if we could have, like, if we could have looked back now and been like, dude, like someday all three of us would be working inside this industry, I don't know if I would have believed us.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, dude, we just drilled through 3 mud holes and Bart just got a credit card so he could drive home. And you just showed him how to use a Vexler 2 minutes ago. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, I hear you.
Cool.
Dude. And well, the crazy thing to think is like all those memories or those crazy time of filming TYO2, like that was 8 to 10 years ago. Like it really was not that long ago. Like if you think about in the time frame of the amount of stuff that's happened,
yeah, things progress pretty quickly for all the boys. But then you also think about it, and we're 30, and we were doing that 10 years ago. That's a 30-year life that we've been involved in this already, and we're still young. I mean, we're not little babies anymore trying to figure out how to do things, but we're always learning. I mean, that's the coolest thing that I would take away from being in the industry. And you never know everything. You never know everyone. It's constant learning. Just be a sponge and try to, make a decent impact on people and just keep learning. There's stuff that I'll never know about until I'm probably out of the industry.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes. There's no secret key to learning and knowing everything with fishing because it's constantly changing. Like you think about when we were young, they told us that we could have forward-facing sonar and explain the subject to us. We'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah,
this isn't our cars don't fly. We're not going to the moon for a trip. Like it would be so unrealistic to even know that. Like you guys can attest when Megaside, or not even Megaside, when side imaging or 360 came out, that was the coolest damn thing in the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now it's like, I wouldn't say obsolete because it's still a great tool to use, but there's so many guys that just overlook that and just go straight to forward facing without learning everything else that's more beneficial in certain aspects of fishing.
You can even take it a step outside of fishing and be like, yo, dude, remember when we were really trying to dial in a Sony Handycam when that was like kind of a decent camera at the time? And you'd be like, oh, dude, years from now, like if you just wanted to show somebody something, you could just like FaceTime them.
Yeah.
And you could show them right here, right now, through video, through the middle of Bemidji to Africa. You could be like, oh, check out what I just caught in an actual live video that you're just feeding from your smartphone to somebody else's. Back in the day when we'd be like, what?
Oh, I just
tried Sobi's house to try to help with editing stuff because it's not like we could FaceTime and be like, this is what it looks like right now. Because if he wanted to export the video to show me a sample, the export took like 6 hours for a 3-minute video.
Yeah.
And then it had to upload. And then, like, God, it's so different.
Yeah. If you wanted to tweak something too and you just exported it and uploaded it, you're like,
oh, dude, yeah.
So, how many times were there with TYO videos that you were just like, no? Like, dude, you would export it, upload it, and we'd be like, you should change this. And you're like, okay, I did. And then just didn't do anything.
Besides Sam Moore, I was the first one that took on the task of, you're going to learn how to freaking edit these videos. And I'm like, I figured it out kind of. And I would just, my computer would just be like, rocket ship takeoff if I was exporting a 15-minute video for 6 hours. And then Bart would just hit me up with a long email of just like, basically like, you got to change all this.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, dude, like that might take me 3 days.
Yeah.
To get it back to you for another review.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh yeah, no problem. you take care. I'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Thanks. That sucks.
And you're like, there's no way we could just post it like this. And Bart's like, no.
That's so funny.
Oh, it is funny.
Oh,
man.
the good old days. But
Uh-huh.
all right, Rella, you got to get back to the fam.
Probably. I think, well, they might both be sleeping. So if you guys are bored, then I can stay on. But if not, then I got to be at Reed's all day tomorrow. So I'm probably going to hit the hay pretty quick here.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
can let Rella
you
go, dude. We appreciate your time so much. And like, this podcast really only scratches the surface of all the amazing memories that we have with Brent, and like from when we were kids, dude, to all the way to now. Like I still go up to Brent's every single year, and like he just opens his home and I crash with him, and I'm a fish bum. And it's not just me. He opens his home to an Ozowski or a Hayes or whoever just rolls through, because Bemidji always freezes first. It's still a mecca for freaking pan fishing, ice fishing. It's like, yeah, we can't thank you enough. So thank you for your
fellas
time.
are always welcome.
Yeah. So
soon enough, we'll have a bigger house where we can not step on each other's toes when we have ice fishing bibs and 47 Vexilars and 3 Humminbirds and 40 rods and God knows what else plugged in everywhere. So
yeah,
we'll
need
get
a lot of outlets.
Yeah, no kidding. I should just bring the generators in sometimes and put them on the back deck.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite memories, though, is your old house, not your college house, your second house, kind of right out of college, is the pool table area down there. And
Oh, yeah.
there would just be rods of everybody's rods lined up all around it. We get rigged up the night before. Everything's plugged in. Everybody's boots around. It was probably a total shit show. And the people you lived with were way cool. When we would have like 5 fish bums, we would all just basically sleep on the floor. We'd get
Yeah.
we'd hit it so hard the night before, you'd find a spot on the floor and sleep, but all of our ice fishing stuff would just be laid out.
And the nice thing about Bemidji is most of the bites aren't good until around sunset or middle of the day, so you never had to get up in the morning.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna have. It's probably gonna be one of the latest years that I've ice fished up here. Looking at the forecast, I mean, I couldn't tell you when we had to wait to fish some of the little ponds till Thanksgiving. You know, it's been a long time since we've had this warm of a fall and just kind of mediocre temps. Like, it's cold enough at night to build something, but then it's going to blow 25 tomorrow and it's going to be 45. So it's all going to chunk up and whatever. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, once it happens, it's going to happen quick, I think, because the water temps are so damn cold.
Yeah, they're ready to go. But all right, well, Rel, thank you for joining us. Like we said, one of the biggest reasons a lot of us are in the industry today, and he is still there. And yeah, a lot of
Thanks
us
for
behind
having
the
us,
scenes
boys.
have known Rel.
I appreciate it and all the memories and many more to come. I'll see you goons in a couple weeks down in St. Paul, and I'm sure we'll enjoy a beer or two and talk fishing, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. All right. See you,
Rel. Later.
Peace.
All right. That was our boy, Brent Relopez. Wonderful time with a great friend.
Rella's awesome, dude. Rella's so freaking awesome. And dang, dude. Me, you, Rella, and all those boys, we used to be absolute just fish bum degenerates. And now he's a successful man.
Well, the thing
in the
is,
industry.
we still are.
I know. Yeah, no doubt.
It's just he has a kid now.
He's got an awesome wife
Soon
and
to
a
be
kid,
two.
and he's a great dad, and he's a freaking awesome dude. Like, I freaking love Rella, bottom of my heart. All right, we'll continue on.
Yes, you got to remember to stay close to your mic, Sobi. Sobi finally got a mic, and he's starting to he was good about it before, and now he's starting to drift off and just talk, and he forgets that his mic picks up his audio.
I know. I gotta go back to my roots of battle rapping and get tight to this mic.
Battle rapping. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay. But like Rello said, so one thing I do want to shout out real quick here, Sobi. Rello said have some beers together at St. Paul. We will, in fact, have beers together.
Yes.
Because for people to know, we talked about this like a month ago, but we haven't had a pod since. So tickets for the Break Your PB St. Jude fundraiser have gone up for sale. We are about 100 down. So I think I got about 100 tickets left. So these are, like I said, these are like $100. It is for a St. Jude fundraiser. All proceeds go to St. Jude. This will buy you dinner at Tom Reed's Hockey Pub. You get a free drink. You'll get some raffle tickets with it. And then guys like myself, Relo, Sobi, Brett McComas, all the Chronicles boys, TJ Erickson, I think Nick Lindner will be down there. You name it, like all of our buddies, our friends, are going to be hanging out there after the St. Paul show on Saturday. So there's limited space, which is why there's kind of the entry fee to all of it. And it's a charity fundraiser. So please head on over to the website, buy yourself a ticket, and come hang out with us. It's going to be a great time. And like I said, it's Saturday right after the St. Paul Ice Show. Jay Siemens was so kind enough to have his, I think the Outpost season finale will also be on that Saturday. But the finale, I think, is from 5 to 7 on the seminar stage. So right after, you can come on down to Tom Reed's Hockey Pub and see all of us down there. There will be as well some of the grand prizes that'll be getting raffled are 4 club level wild tickets will be available there. We will also have free, I think it's 3 or 4 night stay for up to 6 people at Geiger's Trail End Resort, which like Rello talked about earlier, that is up at Lake Bowstring, up by Bemidji, kind of in that Lake Winnie area. So those are 2 of the premier prizes. There will be a bunch more prizes as well. And yeah, it is going to be an awesome time at the St. Paul Ice Show. And hopefully, yeah, we just want more people, more people buy the tickets. And like, quite simply, yeah, the only way people are getting in is with a ticket. So
it's gonna be fun. I already bought my tickets, like straight up. Like it's gonna be a good time, and it goes to a good cause. But it's gonna be like, we got the back of Tom Reed's, boy.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like I was telling the people, Sobi, like everybody's gonna be there. Like everybody. You want to have a beer with Brett McComas? There. You want to have a beer with TJ Erickson? There. Adam Griffith? There. Yeah. A lot of people. Sobi? There. Cole Pitt?
Yeah.
There. Waldo? There. Pink? There. Nicole? There.
And good. And it's like outside of a show setting where it's like, if you want to just come chill and BS and talk a lot of fishing and talk smart and like just have fun, like outside of the craziness of the show, like over some cold beers in honor of St. Jude, like let's do it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, we'll have more stuff coming, but yeah, buy tickets. There's only about 100 left, I would say. So go grab them before they run out. I know people love to wait till the last minute for stuff, so I would recommend you don't do that. But I know people are also waiting to make plans, so I understand it. But just know once they're out, they're out. And then also, I think both of us, we have not talked about this at all. The Crappie Chronicles is having a Black Friday merch sale. Is LTAB having a Black Friday merch sale?
Yes. Hey, actually, we have an ad read. We have 2 ad reads for Past the Bar. Adam, you can go first. Go first with the first ad read.
You said you're the one who brought them. You have them.
Our first ad read is the Crappie Chronicles will be having a Friday or a Black Friday sale on all their merchandise. They have incredible merchandise, everything from sweet hats to hoodies, potentially joggers, new designs, old designs, and even some spicy surprises. Also, second ad read, Black Friday sale coming up here for LTAB, Let the Adventure Begin. They'll be having some new designs, some spicy hats, some new spicy designs, and overall awesome casual ice fishing clothing from both parties. So please help support the boys this Black Friday coming up here. We got merch dropping, and that was an ad read.
Yeah, merch drops coming soon. All right. Next up, you want to do a what in the world is going on or a little bit of geared up? What are we feeling?
Up to you.
I say, how about we do this? Our agenda kind of got jacked up because we talked too much about Oregon to begin. Let's do a little geared up.
Yeah.
And then I want to hear about your hunting story. And I think people want to hear about it as well. We got to wrap up the hunting season. So
we do need to wrap up some hunting. Because next week we probably won't talk about it.
No, well, Pink's gonna, dude. We're going into an episode with Ryan Pinkall after a hunting trip. You will have no time to speak about your hunting in the next episode. Ryan will give us a very thorough 1-hour documentary audibly about his Montana hunting experience. And it'll be excellent. I love Ryan's hunting stories. They're just very thorough. So let's do some ice fishing geared up, and then we'll hear about your hunting, okay?
All right, perfect. Do you have your item with you?
I do. I did. Well, I brought a couple. I brought them down. Do you need
I'll
to go
bring
run
just
and grab
one. Let me
yours?
just run and grab it.
All right. We got to buy time for Sobi real quick. So if you are new to the pod, what Geared Up is, we haven't been very good at doing segments lately. We're getting back to it now that we're kind of getting in a groove. But Geared Up is where we will go through different items and different things we may have just interest in, or maybe it sucks, maybe it's good, whatever. But we're talking specifically about gear-related items. So, yeah, that's what Geared Up is. Sobi is currently going to get one of his items. He has it right now. I don't know what it is. All right. So you got your thing ready. Okay. I am going to show, well, I can't even show mine. I don't have this, but I do want to bring this up. And if any listeners know anything about this more than what like Alex Tim has put out there or whatever, I would like to see it. Geared Up heading into this ice season. Supposedly, Markham is coming out with the 360 forward-facing sonar. It has been publicized, leaked, / been around, but I don't believe they've announced it. Is this actually happening or not? Have you've heard the murmurs about this?
I have seen a couple things posted in some weird Facebook forums, but I haven't.
I feel like it's leaked information, and I don't know if it's actually happening or not.
If it does come to market, I'm so intrigued on how it works. Like I think I can understand that concept, and like I think potentially things are going there, right? But it would be I just got to see it. I got to see it. If it is, do you have any other insider information if that's real?
No, I don't. That's why I'm just kind of leading off with this one it is a gear item that is supposedly coming. Normally we talk about we've seen that we like or hate. I just would like to see more information because it's almost ice season. It's supposedly supposed to be released this year, but like we're kind of into show season pretty heavily right now, and it's not. So like, is it?
I would like if it's not already on the shelves at like a Shields or something like that.
Are they launching it at St. Paul?
I mean,
I don't know. I legit have no clue. I don't think either of us have any idea about this. I'm just bringing it up because we're on a podcast and it's something that I've kind of been waiting for and I haven't seen it yet. So if anyone's seen anything, please like send me a DM or something. I would like more information here.
I'm here for it though. There's always like it doesn't matter. It could be jigs, plastics, rods, technology. One thing I love about the fishing industry or whatever, it's always like an arms race for the next thing, right? Like the next best rod, next best plastic, and like the next best forward facing sonar, the next forward facing sonar, the next little tweak on it. Like it's going to be interesting. Like there's always new stuff at St. Paul. There's always new stuff every ice season. So I'm here for it. If anybody has information on it, shoot it our way.
Yes. All right. Sobi, go to you, and then I'll talk about mine next. We'll alternate. What do you got for Geared Up?
I have been loving this like quite a bit. Steph has been loving this like a lot. Like I'm debating on getting her another one for home, one for work. This is an ice fishing product, an outdoor product, but it's now become like a product she's using. I don't know, like if we go to the grocery store or she brings it to work at her desk. This is crazy. Like, and maybe because we've never really owned any of these before. This is the Clam rechargeable hand warmer. And I think this came out last.
It's a different one than last year, though. This is an updated one.
Oh, this is sweet. Okay. I never had the one from last year. I ordered them this year and I was like, okay, it's deer hunting season. Let's charge these up and let's bring these in our pockets. Cause like, honestly, ice fishing can get cold, but you're always moving. Deer hunting, you're like just cold because you don't move, you know? So we brought them out and they're really, really sweet and they're really, really warm. And then I realized, oh, it has a light on it. And one thing I really loved about it, I go, oh, it's not just a hand warmer and a light. It's a rechargeable battery. It's like a brick. So Steph is like, say we go out to eat and it's cold here in the Midwest, like the whole time. She has her phone plugged into this. And then as we would just sit, if we're out to eat, she just continuously warms her hands, or at work in between typing or in between working with patients. He's a physical therapy assistant. She's just warming her hands all the time, like guys too, but women love to hold a warm cup of coffee or tea or something or anything to warm their hands. If you know a lady in your life or a dude that just kind of consistently has cold hands, Steph is using this like not outside. She's using this like inside all the time. And she always has her phone charged and she always has a flashlight when we walk outside. It's actually so awesome. She's using this so much. It's not even a shameless plug. She's using it so much. I'm considering getting her another one. So she has like one in her car and then one at home.
That is awesome.
It is like, it's legit. Like because Adam, you have cold hands too.
Actually, I mean, not really anymore. That was just beginning with Relo. I just was not used to having cold hands. I'm pretty good now, but what I should do. I didn't get any of them, but I should. And what I should do is keep them in my truck for like when I get back in my truck, and then you inevitably need to like make the like 10 texts back to people or get a hold of people, and you don't have any dexterity in your fingers, so like you need to warm them up real quick.
Yeah,
would probably be helpful.
It's like especially because it's like a 3-in-1 product and you can charge your phone on it. It's like, I don't know. I think it's like the slickest thing. So, all right, that was geared up.
Okay, now I got mine for you. So this is brand new. Sobi, you haven't even seen this yet. It just got released today. It'll be for sale for the first time at Thorn Brothers Ice Days this weekend, and then you can order it online. But you'll get to see them at St. Paul because they'll be chilling right by us. So we did a bunch of design work with Arsenal Ice, or not a bunch, I should say. We help them out with launching some of their stuff to from the open water market to the ice market. And finally, some of the new products are getting announced, and this is one we're really pumped about. And I'm excited to see Sobi's honest reactions here. So you can say if you hate it or you love it. But this is an Arsenal Ice Recon bag. Ooh. So this is a storage bag, and the size you can't really see because we're on a podcast right now. This will fit in your bib pocket. So this is the size of your bib pocket. It is about, I don't know, it's like maybe 2 inches wide, but it compresses down since it's a bag if you want it to. It has the same T-handle zipper that he has on his other bags. And what's super cool about this is you go around it and it's like an envelope. So it goes all the way around rather than just up top. It fully opens. So when you fully open it, on one side, we have an elastic band, perfect size for fitting bags of plastics, whatever else you might want to have in there. And then on this side, there's another elastic band. But up top, we have 2 little sections. These little sections are Velcro see-through areas, and you can perfectly fit a couple little panfish jigs or spoons in there, and then they Velcro shut. So now, instead of being like, oh, let me just grab a couple bags of plastics, throw them in my pocket, and then like, I don't know, if you want a couple extra jigs or whatever, like there's no real good way to keep them on you.
Yeah, no, and also like I would like have half my tackle in a little box, but then I'm carrying around like 40 jigs, which you don't need. I want to bring like 4 or 5 jigs with me, and then some plastics, and then maybe some miscellaneous, maybe a little like, yeah, dude.
You got a couple things to switch between, and it's just lightweight, small, compact. And for like mobile anglers, mobile panfish anglers, everything. Yeah, I think we're really, really, really excited about this just because there's been a bunch of different like wallets or like little storage things that like just don't really work that well.
Well, they're nice, but you can't carry them with you. Like I have some like wallet style bigger things that hold all my plastics, that hold like 3 or 4 different tackle boxes. Yeah. But like I don't go hold that and my flasher and my rod and go like, you know what I mean?
But like with this, right, you can easily carry like 4 to 8 bags of plastics, different shapes, colors, whatever you might want. You could put 3 or 4 different jigs in here, 2 or 3 different spoons. You got it all.
That's
And then you
legit.
just put it in your pocket and you go move. And then that night when you get back, or say you go back to your house or your four-wheeler or your truck even, right? You're hole hopping in your truck later in the year. You can just you can swap everything out super easy because it's really easy to just grab everything out of there. So that was big for us just because, you're getting more gear, better gear and all this stuff. But there's one thing we've been trying to help with Arsenal is bring like their storage solutions and just simple things like that it feels like ice fishing industry is lacking on compared to other industries, and just try to solve some of those storage solution problems. So
I like
recon
that
bag,
it's in the bib.
it will be for sale, and I think it's going to be a major hit personally. But
I think I'll get 2 of them because I want one completely decked out, or 3 would be legit. I want 2 for sure. One that I completely deck out with just like, honestly, like my 8 go-to panfish things, like, a couple different pinheads, a couple different bigger jigs, and then obviously my plastics. And then I'd like one where I just have walleye stuff. Like I have, I have a Psycho Shad. I have like all these different, I have like 4 or 5 different color, like 1/8 ounce spoons. Like I just be boom, here's my walleye to go bag, here's my crappie to go bag. Now I can pop around.
yeah, and they're just exactly, you could just label one, like there's even because we purposely put this on here for situations like that. Sobi, this is the same as the front as the Frosted Legacy bag, so you could super easily just take a Sharpie and write walleye.
Yeah. And there's times when like we will go out, like Hayes and I will just like go out for a flash bite for walleyes.
And you don't want to pack all your stuff. You just
I
want to
end up
grab a
bringing
rod
all
and
this
3 things.
bullshit, dude. I bring all this bullshit and I know exactly what I'm going to need. I need a couple different split shots and a couple different hooks to set up some iFish Pros or tip ups. And then I need like 4 or 5 1/8 ounce spoons, maybe a natural color or bright color, a couple glows. Like I need that much stuff worth of stuff to go fish for an hour and a half of a flash bite walleye window. And I'm bringing all this shit. And I still need to have, I want all my stuff, but I don't always need to bring it out on a quick little mission. I could just grab it and be like, let's go. Got bait, got this, got rods,
Dude,
ups, done.
and that's exactly my thing, is because like, I mean, I go ice fishing a ton in the winter, but like when we're in between chronicle shoots or whatever, right? Like I'll be editing and say it's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And I'm like, God, it's a beautiful day. I'd love to go out for an hour or 2.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't want to grab all my shit. Like, I don't want to, I just don't want to go through that hassle. But now with having that, like just real quick, I'm like, I can grab my graph and a rod or 2 and just go chuck it, and I can go get something done.
And you actually feel like you're still like not, it's because if you just like grab your rod and like 1 or 2 spoons, you're going to be like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to want something different. Like you could actually have that loaded down with like legit stuff you would use.
Yeah, exactly. You got a couple of them, you're all good. So, and it's zippered, sealed, like it's good. So
I like it. I like it a lot.
Hyped about it. But yeah, so that's a little section of geared up for the people now, so that we don't, well, I don't know, however long Sobi wants to talk about it. We've been having long pods lately because we haven't been having a lot of them. But Sobi, all right, now we finally get to your hunting window. I think you're I saw a video just released tonight. Is that kind of showing everything?
It doesn't show completely everything, but I will give everything away, because if you're PTB Nation and you've made it this long, I'll give everything away. I've got one other video probably coming out on Wednesday, and that'll be done. Then hunting is done. It's everything ice after that. Yeah, I will not tell a long, drawn out Pincala story. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so basically, but just give the people. So leading up to Halloween, you had been bow hunting a bunch.
Yes, leading up to Halloween, we've been bow hunting a lot, and I like some of the little pieces of land, like we have permission on right by our house. Like I go back and forth all the time. If like we're hunting it too much, and then if I'm want to kill a doe or not kill a doe yet, because like you kind of reach that window of Halloween when you're like, oh, if a really nice opportunity happens with a nice doe, do I shoot her or am I going to blow up the woods when basically the rut is kicking off? And it's kind of like in the same way you could equate it to also if you're just hunting more, you're kind of blowing up the land more. It's kind of like if you go out and you piss pound 20 crappies in the same spot every day, like when you go back the 5th day, is it going to be that great? Like the deer know, dude, as soon as you start hunting, like you're leaving your scent, you're blowing deer out when you go in and go out, like they know. So like, it's always a balancing act of like, do I shoot a doe? Do I not? Well, if one comes on camera, that's such a kind of a rare opportunity. Cause like we almost have to shoot them twice. This whole self-filming mission that I've put myself on is like, I'm not a good enough bow hunter to be doing this, A, and B, I'm still obsessed with like I want to film it. I should just like not film deer hunting and just enjoy it. Like and I'd probably just be successful right away. But I'm like, I put this rig up where I have the A7S3 pointing at me, then I have a camera arm that runs out here, and the A7S is on a different strap here pointing, and then I film it on the phone, and then I have a GoPro up here. I put together this whole contraption when I'm in this tree, and I'm being quiet, and I'm not great at bow hunting, right? So there's like the odds are always against me, I feel like, but that's just probably good excuses. But going into October, had a lot of bucks at night and getting some opportunities at does that I'm like passing on. And I'm like, oh no, I don't know if I should be doing this. And some really small bucks like spikes and stuff. And honestly, like I'm not a big horn hunter. You know, I'm no Colpin. I'm no, Lee and Tiffany. I just want some jerky and summer sausage and meat. And like, I don't know why I just don't shoot a spike buck and just be done with it, and just enjoy the meat, enjoy what it is. But I'm like, no. Like, I think I'm going to pass on these deer as if I'm just like this big time hunter, like that is just going to get these opportunities that never really come. Just blind, doubtful faith, whatever. So Halloween kind of happens. I have some close interactions with deer, not in shooting range, and that was cool. And then we can kind of fast forward to kind of what this video that I just dropped shows tonight is. It is like the day before gun hunting or 2 days before Minnesota gun hunting when the woods will just be flooded with people and guns and shots and everything.
This is day 5 of Sobi not replying to me or Pink.
Yes. I'm just in it, dude. I'm like, my hair is greased. I'm like starting to grow some of the first facial hair of my life because I'm just so warm. I'm just a grease ball of being in a tree. I'm just acting like a tree. And like I just have an incredible morning of like, boom, there's a couple does here coming out there. I pass on them. I'm like, dude, this is the rut, dude. And we got 2 days before gun hunters come in here. And I'd made up my mind. I'm like, no, dude, I'm just going for a decent buck, not a giant, just a decent buck. I got a couple days before the woods is just blown up. And then I had a coyote run underneath me and I didn't shoot him. And then like comes barreling across this cornfield is this like nice 6-point buck. He's kind of has the frame of like an 8-point buck, but he's only got 6 points. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. He's booking it right at me. This cornfield just got cut. So these deer are kind of mingling around here. And he's like ripping around like, me and Bart when we were freshmen in college, just looking for women. And he comes and gives me like a 15-yard shot. I'm drawn back. I got him in the frame of the camera and he's like really quartering to me. And I'm like, oh shoot. And I'm a pretty ethical hunter. Doesn't matter if it's fish or deer or anything. Like I'm never trying to hurt an animal. So I'm probably more patient than I need to be. So I'm like, oh no, I don't think I can shoot him right here. And then he like walks in the woods and in my 2-second gap, I just like let walk by. I don't know if I could have got a shot off. I don't know. I draw down and I'm like, shit, what are you doing, dude? Like what are you hunting? Are you hunting or are you going for a perfect shot broadside in the camera angle? Like, come on, how many things do you want to line up? I'm like, you're an idiot. I'm like, oh, I know. So this buck is like walking behind me. And then I'm like, where's like my grunt call? Like, where's my grunt call? I'm like feeling around. I can't feel my grunt call. So I proceed to take my hand like this and I make some wheeze noises at him. And that's kind of like a buck challenging another buck when they go. So I show this on camera of me like freaking out because I can't find my buck call, and I'm like, screw it. I called once, nothing happened. I hit it again, and this buck just starts raking the trees behind me. It's so thick behind me, I can't even see him, but he's only probably 30 yards away. Just starts ripping the trees up, and he's pissed. And now I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, he's coming back, dude. He's going to come back. He rips the trees up, makes a scrape, rips the trees up, and he comes like 15 yards behind my stand. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. I like fiddle my camera arm over here and point out to the cornfield. I'm like, if he comes up here, like, I got him, dude. Like, I did it. I brought him back with my hand calls. I'm purting your Native American.
I am a hunter.
I am a hunter, dude. I'm purting your Native American at this point, dude. Are you kidding me? Let's go. I feel like Chancey Walters, dude. This punk's trying to challenge me, and I called at him. And he starts ripping these trees. Now he's 8 yards under my stand. And I can't shoot him because it's just like, I'm like, in this tree line that's really thick, but I can like see him clear as day, right? He comes out into this cornfield and he takes a left to come toward me. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's literally going to happen. Like, this is coming together. I have my A7S III pointed that direction, recording. Everything's dialed in. He steps out. I draw back. And I'm like, meh. And I fire. And I hear a thwack, and he runs off. And I'm like, holy shit. And he like runs 20 yards, dude. And he like looks dead at me. And I'm looking at his body like, where's the hole? I go, you gotta be kidding me. I think I just shot under him. And this is like 13 yards away.
Oh my God.
And dude, you can ask Steph, we like practice a lot. I live in the country across the road. I've got like 4 targets set up here. 13 yards is like a chip shot, dude. Backwards, I could be 3 sheets to the wind and go like no problem. I don't know if it's because of my elevation. I just shot under him. I have no other excuse.
And he just turned around and stared at you.
He stares at me, and I freak out because I'm like, grab another arrow and do this. And I reach down. I should have probably took it a little slower. Reach down kind of hastily and grab an arrow, and then he looks right at me and just blows and gallops off. And I'm like, no way. And then I'm like, you know
man.
what? I've killed does before in the past where I've shot and I thought I missed and it just plowed right through them and they didn't even know what happened. I was like, it could be a possibility. You probably smoked them. Like maybe I smoked them. I'm like, my mind is going 1,000 miles an hour. Grab another arrow. I reach in there and find my grunt call and I grunt. And then after he'd kind of booked off, I hit the rattlers. Another deer comes in. It's a button buck. He comes rolling by. I pass on him because I'm like, maybe I got a 6-pointer down. Maybe I totally didn't miss. Like, I don't know anything anymore. I haven't slept much. Then after that, I saw like another deer and I couldn't take it anymore. I got down from my stand and I look at the arrow and there's just a couple little patches of white hair and a completely clean arrow. Clean as if I had just washed it with a hose. And I go, oh, wow. That's a miss. It didn't even have like residue from hair on it. I just skimmed the bottom of his tummy, which made like hindsight 2020. I was super pissed, but I'm glad now because I never want to injure an animal. Like it's better than hitting him in the ass or I hit him in the guts and he suffers or runs a long ways. Like I truly gave him a buzz cut on the belly and I did not even hit a piece of meat on his body. I just hit hair and I go, I suck, dude. I suck so much. I've been hunting so hard for that moment. And I called him in with a hand call at 13 yards away, all on film, and I freaking botch it. Are you shitting me? Like, and I think, dude, I swear, like, I hope super rich people or super powerful people go hunting or fishing more because, like, the animals in the woods or in the lake, they don't care who you are or anything. Like, it will just humble you. Deer hunting and ice fishing and bass fishing just humbled the living piss out of me. And I think I love the pain. I think that's what I've come to realize is like, maybe I'm just sick in the head and I just like to get shit on. I like the woods just to shit on me. So fast forward, that happens.
Now this explains why then the next few days you still didn't reply.
So now I'm just in a dark hole, dude. I'm sleeping in the fetal position, and I now have like a day and a half before the gun hunting season, and I get a lot of stuff figured out for my dad and family. They come over here and we do all that, and I really don't see too much except for some really nice deer pretty far away. Just kind of picked the wrong stand, and a couple evening hunts after that, which is a bummer. But yeah, like that was the moment it would have happened during bow hunting, and then we go into gun hunting, and opening morning, my dad shoots, and I'm like, oh, that's par for the course. Like, my dad isn't bow hunter or anything. Steph and I will piss grind out here all October, and then my dad will come one day and just like lay a couple does down, like no problem. Like, my dad shoots, he ends up missing. So now after opening weekend, all four of us walked through this whole bedding area, kind of blew it out. We're like down in the dumps, dude. I'm like, dude, I suck at hunting. My dad sucks at hunting. We have no deer. I'm like, damn it, dude. Damn it. And over the next like day and a half, it is like mega cold and we don't see much. And I'm like, this is damn, dude. They're winning, dude. Like, they win, dude. The deer win, every one of them. Like, I'm not going even for a specific deer at this point. Now I'm just going for a deer. And people hit them with their car all the time, and I can't seem to barely see them. They're winning. And then the Monday after opener, I was like, dude, full game plan switch. I'm going to go hunting like I fish, and I'm sick of sitting in these stands that I see deer or I don't get these close encounters. I'm going to, like, that's not how I fish. That's not how you fish. You know,
Yeah.
you get mobile and go after them. I'm like, Dad, you're going over here. You're sitting on the ground. I showed him on the map. And I'm going here and I'm sitting in this deer are coming out here. And they're feeding on this cut cornfield. We're going to go in here and we're going to kill some deer. Steph, you're going to try this new stand I put up earlier this year that we never hunt. Like, we're going to go get mobile in a different area. I'm done with all this bullshit. I was mad.
That's sweet. That had to be exciting though. Like, you're like, all right, we're doing something new. Like,
I was like,
know?
Switch up, dude. Switch up. Like, we're leaving this whole section that we have permission on. We're going to this other side of this road. Like, we're getting mobile. I'm bringing a blind that I made out of like like CRP from my backyard from the
Was this like after the Chansey interview? So you also got a little bit of like, I'm gonna be Chansey on him.
Dude, yes, absolutely. Like, Chansey's all
you
like,
were 100% influenced by Chansey Walters.
For sure, dude. For sure. Because Chansey's all like, get mobile, dude. Get eyes on these deer and go make a play on them. And I'm like, I'm sitting in these stands just eating crow every day, and you're like
watching them make a play on me.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you're playing the deer. I'm like, he's like, just like bass fishing, man. And I'm like, so I was motivated, especially after I got mad.
That's sweet. Okay, I love that. That's very cool. All right, keep going.
Monday night, Steph drops us off. My dad walks in this area. I walk down this tree line. I set my little ground blind up and tuck into this back little area. I got the gun at this point. Steph still has her bow because she's a diligent hunter and not a quitter like me. And then at like 3:00, Steph texts me, my dad, and she's like, doe down. I'm like, what? It's not even like close to sunset. What are you talking about? She's like, dude, we never hunt this stand. This doe came out like 8 yards away. I got it on camera. Boom, stroked it. It ran like 30 yards, tipped over completely.
On a bow, right?
On a bow. Yeah. On a bow. Her little bow, just stone cold dead. I was like, you're shitting me. Hell yeah. Skunks out of the bow, baby. Let's go. Like, we got a deer. And I call her on the phone, and I'm like behind my little blind, like, are you sure for sure you saw it go down? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. I was like, shoot like a little interview on your iPhone of just like how it went down, especially if you got it on camera, like, and then call me back. Like, this is exciting. I get off the phone with her, and I look up, and there's like just this matriarch big doe out in the middle of this cornfield, like in front of me, like 90 yards. I'm like, what? Where'd you come from? Get my camera set up, get my gun. I like waited a long time till she was broadside. I rail off a shot, completely miss, dude. She does not react. I completely miss. as you know, dude, I've been in a dark hole, dude. And
So
I'm in
now you're
savage
like,
mode.
oh my God.
I'm like, boom, boom. I freaking pump the gun again and shoot again. And then boom, she drops on the spot. I like hit her in the shoulder and it just must have erupted everything. And just boom, she dropped on the spot. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like 2 does down.
So then I text the group message with my dad and stuff. I'm like, doe number 2 down. And they're like, oh man, what a change of events. I'm like filming this too. I'm turning back at myself. I'm like, what a change of events. Oh my gosh. Total freaking. Wow. 0 to 0. So quick. It's like 3:45 in the afternoon. Not even close to sunset yet. And the rest of the night, I kind of thought Deadeye Dan was going to get into something, or I was ready to hear a shot from him. And then I'd watch like these 5 or 6 other does come out. It's like the woods. We went to this new section. The woods was alive, probably because I haven't been playing around there. And 6 other does come out. And they kind of go back in this bedding area. And I was like, oh, wow, that was beautiful to watch them and stuff. And then like with 30 minutes left to go, that whole group of does like come shuffling out in this cornfield down my edge again. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go again. And they come out and there's this other really nice big doe. And the other ones are decent too, but like there's this one that's nice. And she gives me a shot at like 40 yards broadside with the gun and just one shot, she drops. And I text, I'm like, doe number 3 down. So 0 tracking, 0 missing, except for that one shot. We take the Ranger, we pick up Steph's doe, and she actually shot it through the heart with her bow. When we gutted it, it's just like a perfect, like, you could picture a broadhead, like an X right through the heart. Steph is so fired up. I'm so fired up for her too, because she's so diligent. She didn't buy a gun license. She's like, I'm going with my bow. I'm like, Steph, we kind of suck at bow hunting. She's like, I know, but I'm going to keep going. I'm like, okay. You're stronger than me. But she got it done, so that made me happy. And then we picked up my 2 does, and in a blink of an eye, we had 3 deer hanging in my tiny little garage, and that was basically our deer hunting story right there. After that, we just basically processed meat for the next 2 days, and I was so happy, dude. From lowest of lows.
You called me the next morning because we were driving to Thorn Brothers to go film all the Expose the Ice stuff that everyone will see this winter. And you were texting, like all of a sudden you were texting me, and I'm like, I looked at Boots because he was in my truck, and I went, he for sure shot a deer. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, he hasn't replied in weeks. He for sure shot a deer. So then I called you and you answered. You're like, hey, I don't really have a lot of time. I'm like, yeah, but you shot a deer, right? And you're like, yeah. And then you told me the story. Or like, you told me you guys got 3 the night before, and you had 3 deer hanging in your garage, and you had a lot of work to do. And I was like, oh my God, I should probably let you get to this. But it's cool to hear how it actually went down. I'm excited to see that video, dude.
It's cool, dude. It's really cool. And to get it on camera, like I shot the intro of that night going like at Steph. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, well, we have 0 deer and haven't really been seeing much. And I'm like, I know, it's been kind of rough. Vikings lost. We have 0 deer. It's been wicked cold. And did I mention we have 0 deer? But the tides must turn. The tides must turn. And then boom, if we only knew a couple hours from that intro that we'd have 3 hanging, incredible, dude.
You gotta shout out Chanty. You gotta shout out Chancey Walters at some point in that video. Like, even if you just hop in post and be like, shout out Chancey Walters, PTB. Because of you, this happened, because I would have kept sitting in my stand and staring at nothing.
I need to sift through the video where he goes, you need to play the deer just like you play the fish. Don't let the deer play you. And
insert it into the video. Yeah. And then you just have like a shot of you with like question marks and like.
Right. My dad comes over for like 3 or 4 days, and Steph and I like live right next to where we hunt, and we've got like 8 freaking deer stands set up in these primo spots, we think, with cameras on them. And then I go to my dad and I go, we're sitting on the ground. Here's the chair. Like, go. This is where.
And he's like, what?
Why? And I'm like, because I'm mad.
That is awesome, dude.
It was good. It was good. It was really good.
That is sweet. Well, dang, hell of an end to the hunting season for you.
Yes.
You got fresh Venny in the fridge, freezer, whatever.
Fresh meat in the freezer, and now we move on to ice.
You get to edit
on ice.
Yeah, you get to edit. Take a little bit of time. Well, like like we talked about at the beginning, we're going to have ice before St. Paul, and like it's going to get hard really fast.
Yeah.
But it's almost nice. Like you always want, like for the industry, you always want it a little bit earlier to like make it go and get everything going. But like, I really like this time frame of like Black Friday because like we have a definitive date finally of like looking at the forecast for me, it's like if I just have everything done by Wednesday before Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
go enjoy my time with family, drive home, degenerate ice fisherman for the next month after that, content, pushing stuff out, go hard till Christmas. And then it's like, okay, then, more steady. So it's got to feel good now to have all the meat in the freezer.
It does, dude. It feels so good. And it's just like it's a chapter that can be closed. I just got like, I was trying to film it so hard. I had brain rot of like nothing else will happen until this is done. And now it's done. And I'm like, nice, dude.
Well, dude, I want to give props to you too, because like I had, well, it's funny is Pangrat calls me fairly often, and we chat randomly. Yeah. But he called me and he literally went, "You got to Bart, tell Sobi to stop shooting these fucking deer hunting videos. I want to see fishing stuff again." And I'm like, I love the deer hunting videos. They're like my favorite videos. It's because there is a group of us.
Yeah,
like I see all the bass fishing. I know the bass fishing. Like,
yeah.
Ice fishing, we're a part of it. I watch all your ice videos. But like the deer hunting videos, I always love because like it's the same time of year. I recognize the stand angles and like stuff. Like it's you and Steph. Like it's this annual tradition.
Yeah.
And I like always get to watch them and see how it goes. So like, and I think there's a group of us, and you recognize them as viewers that look forward to these videos every year.
For sure. And it's just the time of year. It's like, that's the time. Like,
yeah. So I'm excited that I find out, like, I get to see my deer hunting Sobi videos now.
It's cool, dude. And just know, like, we just so struggle to film it or try to put it together while being quiet or like while hunting. Like, we are not pro hunters, bro. Like, so it's like,
I do like that you got the DJI mics, though. Those are really helpful and they're great. Like, those are awesome mics.
Just to like whisper it, like they're so sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. No, so all right. So for everybody who has made it this far, we appreciate you. You will have more hunting talk on the next episode because Pink will be back from Montana. So he will for sure have some stories to tell. He actually sent us pictures of meat. So I'm assuming they killed.
Nice.
We'll get to hear about that. And also to continue our ice fishing escapade, I will say, we're recording this coming up, and to make it up to all you guys are going to get a lot of episodes coming up here. So this is coming out on Tuesday. Your next episode will probably be out on like, I don't know, probably Sunday night. Yeah. And it's going to be with our boy Clayton Schick.
Top tier guest.
Yeah, top tier guest. We're going to really dive into kicking off the ice season. We're going to be answering a bunch of questions for people. And then we will be doing another one right after that. So we're making it up to all you guys for kind of struggling through certain points this year. Heading into ice season, we're going to go home run, home run, home run right off the bat.
It's going to be good. Like we're putting our foot down, like all gas, no brakes.
Oh, also, Sobi, I forgot. We talked about this in the group chat quick. We should, for our loyal PTB fans who are still here, I believe this is episode 96.
Ooh.
And we have set, so 97 will be the next one. We are rapidly approaching episode 100.
Oh my gosh.
We would like feedback for everyone on like, what do people want us to do for episode 100? A little special. We've talked about, we've never done a live stream for PTB. It could be a great thing to do is do a live stream. And I mean, we could make it a long live stream and invite a bunch of different favorite guests. Pink, Sobi, and I will be on the whole time, and we'll just rattle off interviews and post all the episodes later. Or I don't know. I really have no idea. What do you think? I mean, just let the people decide. We just need to make up the mind soon because it'll end up happening around the holidays, probably. Like based off of our every week.
Or do you want a special edition one that maybe we shoot at like the St. Paul Ice Show? We could bring different amazing people on that are at the show, or do we do or
yeah, I would. Like, I mean, we would have to get an in-person setup then, but I could talk to Clam. We'll talk to Drew. Should we do that?
That's something like let the people decide, but that's something to think
Yeah,
about.
let the people decide, because we can for sure talk to Drew and Clam and be like, hey, episode
their
of
setup.
PT. Yeah, borrow their setup and do in person. And once again, we could set it up and do a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
I do like, I think live stream idea could be legit though, because we've
Live
never
stream
done that. So
could be sweet, and it would be sweet to do
dude, we get to that's the one thing we've done almost 100 of these episodes, and like we do the PTB fan questions, and we have insanely awesome fans that share stuff everywhere, but we still have never like interacted with them on a live stream.
That would be really cool. I think we should do a live stream, dude.
And I think a lot of people would show out, and we would have no idea who they would be or anything.
Our first live stream.
Yeah. So let us know. And for episode 100, like what guests, like literally let us know, because that's the other thing is, as you guys know, we have a very high budget.
Yeah.
We can get about anybody you guys want in the outdoor realm. So name some names, and we'll try to make it happen for episode 100, and we'll have some fun. But
I love it.
Yeah. Until next time, thank you everybody for listening this long. This is another episode of Pass the Barb, and we'll be seeing you shortly with Clayton Schick.
Yeah. Peace.